Chapter 1339. There were 9 divine stages, each representing a rank. Every time a spiritual altar was formed, it would consume the accumulated foundation of that stage. Zhao Feng had only been a rank 7 ancient god for a very short time, but in this time, he had consumed countless natural resources and experienced countless battles, both large and small. Moreover, Zhao Feng cultivated the Chaos Heaven Void Origin technique, a top-class divine-level technique that was steady and steady. For this reason, Zhao Feng had more than enough resources. But because he was breaking into rank 8 in secret, Zhao Feng had completely sealed off the space-time robe's dimension, preventing the worldly phenomena from descending into the outside world. This meant that Zhao Feng was unable to absorb vast amounts of heaven-earth yuan qi. Fortunately, Zhao Feng had prepared for this, and he had accumulated many cultivation treasures. Swish, swish, swish. He took out many cultivation treasures suitable for breaking into the heavenly divine realm and began to absorb energy from them. Soon, Zhao Feng was overjoyed. At present, his 8th divine altar was already 80% complete. As he formed his divine stages, Zhao Feng could clearly sense that his divine power was constantly transforming, becoming more condensed and indestructible. His soul intent was also further consolidated and slowly rising, far surpassing that of an ordinary rank 8 ancient god. At a certain moment, Zhao Feng's body erupted with divine light that illuminated the entire space-time robe dimension. I broke through. Zhao Feng opened his bright eyes and spat out a mouthful of foul air. The greatest increase in divine power from peak rank 7 to rank 8 was followed by soul intent and the divine body. Cling-clang. The little thieving cat next to Zhao Feng threw out several bronze coins, and then its face twisted into a frown. An inauspicious omen? Zhao Feng was startled. Was breaking into rank 8 actually a bad thing? Wait! Zhao Feng grimaced, and his left eye unleashed an astonishing eye intent. A moment later, his gaze pierced through the space-time robe dimension, piercing through the many walls and into the distance. Someone's hiding nearby? Zhao Feng narrowed his eyes and scanned the surroundings. Finally, he found 2 people. One was a rank 7 samsara immortal body, and the other was a rank 8 ancient god. It was not strange for members of the heavenly demon hall to appear in the surroundings. What was strange was that these people had deliberately hidden themselves. Looks like this place has been exposed. Zhao Feng's face darkened as he stood up. Right now, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon, Zhao Wang, and Zhao Hui were still trying to break through. After all, Zhao Feng only started attacking after reaching the peak of Tier 7. On the other hand, Zhao Wang had just reached the 6th order, and Zhao Hui had just reached the 3rd order, so it would take longer for them to break through. Xiu. In the air, Zhao Feng, wearing the space-time robe, was rapidly moving through the illusion god. This was a concealment art he had learned from ancient god Luo Ling. The spatial ripples were extremely weak, and those of the same level would find it very difficult to notice unless they were looking carefully. Suddenly, a spatial barrier appeared in front of Zhao Feng. Not good. Zhao Feng's expression changed again. Originally, he had planned to quietly escape without making a sound. He hadn't expected for his opponent to use a special method to set up a barrier around him. Spatial barriers could be used as a defensive barrier, but they could also be used as a warning. I can only charge through. Zhao Feng's expression darkened. If he wanted to leave, he had to pass through the spatial barrier. This way, his actions would be exposed. But at this moment, Zhao Feng had no other choice. His opponent had hidden himself and set up a spatial barrier probably because they were waiting for everyone to arrive so that they could surround and kill Zhao Feng. He had to charge through. Although he had decided to charge through, Zhao Feng did not immediately move. In any case, passing through the spatial barrier would expose his identity. It was better to kill one of them before leaving. This way, there would be one less problem. Zhao Feng walked through the limited space for a few moments. You're the one. Zhao Feng's gaze pierced through several walls and landed on a rank 7 samsara immortal body. Swish. Suddenly, a spatial blur appeared around Zhao Feng. A moment later, he blinked through the spatial barrier and arrived at the rank 7 ancient god side. Who's there? This rank 7 ancient god was ancient god Nether Spring's samsara immortal body. Ancient god Nether Spring's soul intent was still in it, so it was extremely vigilant. The moment Zhao Feng used spatial blink, he realized what had happened. Tribulation lightning eye flame. Zhao Feng stared at the rank 7 ancient god, his left eye madly pulsing with eye intent. Kakrek. A dreamy ball of lightning flame suddenly descended on the rank 7 ancient god's body. The dreadful tribulation lightning energy pierced through the rank 7 ancient god's soul and pulverized it. Zhao Feng coldly snorted as he fled. In the core secret hall, hiss. Ancient god Nether Spring couldn't help but hiss. His soul intent had been entrusted to another soul body. When his opponent suffered a soul attack, he would also be affected. But ancient god Nether Spring had never imagined that Zhao Feng's soul attack would be so powerful. The power it unleashed was enough to instantly obliterate the soul of a rank 7 ancient god. Otherwise, ancient god Nether Spring would have been able to transfer energy so that his samsara immortal body could last a little longer. After stealing the heavenly god liquid, he broke into rank 8. Ancient god Nether Spring's expression was dark and furious. Although it had only been for a moment, he had sensed Zhao Feng's true cultivation. This boy can't be allowed to live. Ancient god Nether Spring called out. Elder, our people are extremely close. He can't escape. The white-haired operator sinisterly laughed. It had been some time since they discovered Zhao Feng's hiding place. Although there were only 2 people in the vicinity, there were many others who were extremely close to the target. My rank 9 samsara immortal body is rather far from here, but I don't think he needs to come. Ancient god Nether Spring sneered. If it was ancient god Luo Ling hiding there, only his rank 9 samsara immortal body would have a chance of returning victorious. But if it was just Zhao Feng, even if he broke into rank 8, he would only be at rank 8. His rank 9 samsara immortal body would probably be captured and killed before he could even reach rank 9. Not good. Someone's here. As he was fleeing, Zhao Feng suddenly noticed that a rank 8 ancient god was rapidly approaching him. If he didn't change directions, the 2 of them would probably run into each other. Zhao Feng could only change his line of defense and continue to flee. However, after flying for a few breaths of time, he saw another figure. My identity has been completely exposed. All the investigators in the Heavenly Demon Hall are gathering here. Zhao Feng suddenly stopped, his eyes deep and calm. His current location had been completely locked onto, making it very difficult for him to escape. Since that's the case, I'll kill a portion of them first. A vicious light flashed through Zhao Feng's eyes. If he waited for everyone to gather, Zhao Feng would find it very difficult to fight against so many enemies. It was better to kill a portion of them now. Even if they all gathered together, Zhao Feng would face less pressure. After making up his mind, Zhao Feng gave up on his escape plan. Swish. His body suddenly flickered as he charged at an approaching rank 8 ancient god. Something's happening. A snakeman covered in blue scales knew through his message token that Zhao Feng was running in his direction. At this moment, he sensed spatial ripples and killing intent targeting him. Why would I be afraid of him? He's just an ancient god that just broke into rank 8. The snakeman's face was sinister and ruthless. BZZ. His eye of life suddenly turned, and a surge of vitality surged out of his body. In a flash, the snakeman's body became extremely muscular and brimming with strength. At the same time, a savage saber appeared in his hands. Celestial Lightning Tyrannical Slash. The blue-scaled serpentman brandished the long saber in his hand and fiercely slashed at the place where the killing intent had come from. A massive lightning saber imbued with astonishing physical strength shot forward. A moment later, Zhao Feng, shrouded in a mist of multicolored light, appeared near his attack range. Chaos Origin Divine Fist. Zhao Feng gathered his Chaos Origin Divine power into a fist and punched. A huge dark fist radiance, like a black star, fiercely blasted out. Bang! The two collided, and the lightning saber the snakeman had unleashed was instantly pulverized like paper. How could this be? The snakeman's mouth fell open in disbelief. Based on his intelligence reports, his opponent had only just broken into rank 8, So how could his divine power attack be so powerful? Die for me. Zhao Feng sneered as he wantonly unleashed the boundless divine power in his body. One had to realize that before he broke through, his divine power attacks were already slightly stronger than an ordinary rank 8 ancient gods. After breaking through, his divine power was even purer and more condensed, and he had received significant improvements in all aspects. At this time, Zhao Feng's divine power attacks were enough to crush an ordinary rank 8 ancient god. Boom, bang, crush. Zhao Feng's mighty chaos origin divine fist rained down on the snakeman like a meteor shower. Damn, my life source. After suffering this round of attacks, the snakeman immediately activated his Eye of Life. Immediately, endless life energy flowed out of his eyes. His battered body began to recover at a shocking speed. You can't kill me. The snakeman sneered. Firstly, he was a life god Eye descendant, and his vitality was already extremely formidable, making him very difficult to kill. Secondly, even if Zhao Feng used everything he had to kill him, the elders of the Heavenly Demon Hall would definitely revive him. This was the rule of the Heavenly Demon Hall. Those who died with merit could be revived. You can't kill me? Zhao Feng smiled. A moment later, his left eye began to pulse with eye intent. So powerful. The snakeman's soul instantly trembled. Earth-shaking nova. Zhao Feng immediately activated his eye bloodline technique. A chaotic sphere of starlight formed, and then descended onto the blue-scaled serpent man. Boom, bang, crush. All the energy within the ball began to interweave and collide, tearing apart. In a flash, the snakeman's recovered body was torn to shreds. The earth-shaking nova's attack also affected the soul, making it so that the snakeman couldn't focus for a moment. Killing him would be a pity. Zhao Feng slightly shook his head, and then he smiled. Swish. A sparkling and translucent lightning mirror appeared in his hand. 9 Lightning Soul Refinement. Zhao Feng immediately activated his supreme quality divine artifact. The 9 Lightning Soul Refining Mirror immediately flashed with astonishing lightning energy that pierced through the body and soul. The lightning energy gradually twisted and turned into 7 lightning chains. If completely refined, there would be 9 chains of lightning. The 7 chains of lightning wrapped around the snakeman's soul with lightning-fast speed. Then, the lightning chains unleashed soul-targeted lightning power, which continuously paralyzed and ravaged the blue-scaled serpent man's soul. Withdraw. Zhao Feng controlled the 9 Lightning Soul Refining Mirror and immediately pulled on the snakeman's soul. No! The snakeman struggled with all his might, trying to escape in the opposite direction. However, he couldn't break free at all. All he could do was ensure that he wouldn't be pulled into the 9 Lightning Soul Refining Mirror. Where do you think you're going? Zhao Feng growled as he followed up with an eye bloodline technique. At the same time, the lightning energy within the 7 chains surged out, causing the snakeman's soul to lose the ability to resist. Ding-ling! The chains of lightning retracted, and the snakeman's soul was pulled into the 9 Lightning Soul Refining Mirror. Chapter 1340. Collect. Zhao Feng used the 9 Lightning Soul Refining Mirror to absorb the snakeman's soul into the divine artifact. The Heavenly Demon Hall faction had many Samsara God Eye descendants. The expert who had been trying to capture Zhao Feng this entire time was also an Eye of Samsara descendant. Even if he killed these people, someone of ancient god Nether Spring's strength wouldn't require much effort to revive them. Thus, it was better to take the souls of these enemies and use them for himself. The 9 Lightning Soul Refining Mirror contained boundless 9 heavens lightning energy. It could refine the souls absorbed into the mirror into lightning soul crystals. Once consumed, one could produce a unique soul lightning that could temper and strengthen one's soul. Moreover, Zhao Feng's soul was a lightning soul body. Consuming a lightning soul crystal would give him the most benefits. This is the first one. Zhao Feng's eyes were cold. The rank 7 ancient god he killed before was a Samsara immortal body, so it didn't count as a kill. As he scanned the area, another rank 7 ancient god appeared in his field of vision. Since you all want to capture me, I'll deliver myself to your doorstep. Zhao Feng sneered as he blinked away. Who is it? The rank 7 ancient god was completely unaware of Zhao Feng's sudden appearance, and he was given quite a fright. Run! The rank 7 ancient god was well aware that he was no match for Zhao Feng, so he immediately began to run. He had only planned to get involved and earn some contribution points. He hadn't expected to run into his target before even reaching his destination. Mind Demon! Zhao Feng casually used an illusion eye bloodline technique. A ball of multicolored and gloomy light immediately invaded the rank 7 ancient god's soul, causing the rank 7 ancient god to sink deeper and deeper into the demon barrier. Even if Zhao Feng didn't kill him, this person would find it very difficult to advance his cultivation in the future. Second one, collect. The 9 lightning soul refining mirror in Zhao Feng's hand exploded with dazzling lightning. Swish! 7 chains of lightning immediately shot out of the mirror and tightly bound the ancient god's soul. After some time, the ancient god's soul was absorbed into the 9 lightning soul refining mirror by Zhao Feng. Where's the next target? Zhao Feng activated his left eye and looked around, seeing through all obstacles. Core area, secret hall. Elder. The operator stared at the huge light screen in front of him with an awkward expression. What's the situation? Ancient God Nether Spring coldly asked. Up until now, he only knew that Zhao Feng had escaped the target ahead of time and destroyed one of his rank 7 Samsara immortal bodies. That infiltrator did not flee with all his might. Instead, he began to hunt and kill the members of the Heavenly Demon Hall nearby. The operator came to this conclusion based on the information he had obtained. Although it was inconceivable, it was the truth. What? You didn't run away? Ancient God Nether Spring was stunned, and then he began to think. With the strength of a rank 8 ancient god, there was no way he could fight back against the Heavenly Demon Hall. No matter how he struggled, he was doomed. The other party probably knew about this and had probably accepted his fate, so he decided to kill as many people as possible before he was caught. Fool! Ancient God Nether Spring sneered. The people he killed were all ordinary rank 8 or even lower, so reviving them wasn't very difficult. This also meant that all the people killed by Zhao Feng could be revived. Suddenly, Ancient God Nether Spring grimaced. This was because one of the peak rank 6 Samsara immortal bodies he controlled had caught the eye of Zhao Feng. Kill my Samsara immortal bodies? That's even more foolish. Ancient God Nether Spring sneered with disdain. Reviving a soul was the ability of the Eye of Samsara of life, and it consumed a lot of energy. If it were a Samsara immortal body, the energy consumption would be half. 9 lightning soul refining mirror? Ancient God Nether Spring's eyes froze. On the other side, Zhao Feng activated the 9 lightning soul refining mirror and began to pull out the soul of the peak rank 6 true god. The soul was unable to put up any resistance and was absorbed by the supreme quality divine artifact, the 9 lightning soul refining mirror. How could this be? This kid has already refined the 9 lightning soul refining mirror to this level? Ancient God Nether Spring blurted out in shock. This was a supreme quality divine artifact. How could a mere rank 8 ancient god so easily refine it? But now, from the power of the divine artifact that Zhao Feng had displayed, he wasn't far from being able to completely refine it. The most important aspect of a samsara immortal body is that the soul is undying and inextinguishable. Even if the soul is imprisoned by someone else, I can use a secret art to summon it back. But once the soul is refined by the 9 lightning soul refining mirror, the samsara of death seal on it will suffer a certain amount of damage. If the soul was completely refined by the 9 lightning soul refining mirror, the soul would be freed from the control of the Eye of Samsara. In any case, the 9 lightning soul refining mirror somewhat countered the Eye of Samsara's abilities. Not good. Is it the same for the others? Their souls have been extracted by the 9 lightning soul refining mirror? Ancient God Nether Spring grimaced. With the supreme quality divine artifacts of the 9 lightning soul refining mirror and the space-time robe, ordinary rank 8 ancient gods were simply no match for Zhao Feng. Those who were targeted by Zhao Feng alone basically had no choice but to die. But ancient God Nether Spring could not allow Zhao Feng to leave. If he missed this chance, there was a high chance that Zhao Feng would be able to escape. You too, hurry up. Ancient God Nether Spring messaged the Devil-Saint God duo. In the inner district of the heavenly demon hall, a dark blue automaton, its entire body shrouded in spatial blurs, was rapidly blinking away. I still haven't noticed anything strange. That brat can't already be dead, right? Ancient God Azura Gate, who was controlling the automaton, coldly snorted. Because he had self-detonated, all the items he had on him had been destroyed, making it impossible for him to contact the other members of the Heavenly Demon Hall or the upper echelon members. There's something up ahead. The automaton's eyes twinkled with a crystalline luster. Just a moment ago, Ancient God Azura Gate sensed chaotic spatial ripples up ahead, clearly signs of a battle. Swish, swish. Ancient God Azura Gate's body flickered away as he fled. Soon, he clearly sensed a powerful lightning energy. Then, an image appeared in front of him. In a ball of multicolored mist, he could faintly make out an exquisite mirror of lightning. 7 chains of lightning extended from the mirror, binding the soul of a rank 7 ancient god of the heavenly demon hall and pulling it toward the mirror. Save me! He's an intruder! The soul saw an automaton of the heavenly demon hall and immediately called for help. Intruder? Ancient God Azura Gate's expression darkened. Based on his previous reports, the heavenly demon hall had 2 intruders. The first was ancient god Luo Ling, and the second was Zhao Feng. Ancient god Luo Ling was a peak rank 8 and a descendant of the spacetime god I, so she was clearly not this person. Thus, there was no need to explain the identity of this mysterious person shrouded in multicolored mist. It was Zhao Feng. He remembered that Zhao Feng was only a peak rank 7 at the time. He didn't think that he would break through. Zhao Feng, I'll kill you! Ancient God Azura Gate roared, and then he charged at Zhao Feng, exuding the pressure of divine power. In the depths of the mist, Zhao Feng grimaced when he heard these words. He actually knows my identity? Up until now, none of the people Zhao Feng had fought with knew his true identity. But this automaton had directly called out his name. From its appearance, it seemed like it had a significant grudge against him. Zhao Feng. The ancient god whose soul had been bound by Zhao Feng was also taken aback. Based on his reports, both intruders were members of the space-time's sacred land. And wasn't Zhao Feng a member of the Xiling Zone's spiritual race? As he was thinking, Zhao Feng's left eye fired off a Tribulation Lightning Eye bloodline technique. Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame. It was best to keep Zhao Feng's identity a secret if possible, but it didn't matter if it was leaked. At this point, his identity had probably not been completely exposed. Thus, this man and automaton had to die. Kakrek. The rank 7 ancient god's soul was ravaged by the tribulation lightning energy and dazzled. At the same time, the 9 lightning soul refining mirror exerted its power, dragging the soul into the mirror. While doing all this, Zhao Feng was naturally dodging back and forth, avoiding the attacks of the dark blue automaton. Your ancient god Azura Gate. After dealing with the rank 7 ancient god, Zhao Feng solemnly turned to the automaton in front of him. It was impossible for an ordinary mechanical puppet to have such a powerful soul aura. Moreover, the soul energies exuded by the automaton were extremely familiar to Zhao Feng. After thinking for a moment, he came to an answer. But Zhao Feng had never imagined that ancient god Azura Gate would want to kill him so badly. After reviving, he was in no rush to find a physical body. Instead, he deposited himself in the automaton and charged at Zhao Feng. Die! Ancient god Azura Gate angrily bellowed as he swung his dark blue sword. The automaton already had the strength of a peak rank 8, and its majestic sword slashes, fused with ancient god Azura Gate's space-time intent, made them even fiercer and more difficult to dodge. After I kill you, I'll store myself in your body. Ancient god Azura Gate inwardly sneered. Zhao Feng was now a rank 8 ancient god, and he was a genius who had directly become a rank 6 ancient god. If he could obtain his body, ancient god Azura Gate would be able to defy the heavens and change his fate. Peak rank 8. Zhao Feng's expression darkened. He had just broken into rank 8, but he had deep reserves, profound techniques, and divine power that surpassed ordinary rank 8s. Coupled with his 2 supreme quality divine artifacts, He was basically able to thrash an ordinary rank 8 ancient god. But peak rank 8s or elites would be a little more troublesome. Space-time barrier. Zhao Feng activated the space-time robe, unleashing layers upon layers of spatial blurs. Those powerful sword slashes were immediately affected by the space-time barrier and easily dodged by Zhao Feng. Chaos Origin Divine Fist. Unafraid, Zhao Feng unleashed his strongest divine power attack. Boom, bang, crush. The battle between the two shook the heavens. What's going on? A rank 7 ancient god had arrived. It's an intruder. A nearby peak rank 6 Samsara immortal body said. At the same time, this Samsara immortal body revealed the identity of his master. Elder, I'll go and help capture that intruder. The rank 7 ancient god prepared to charge forward. With the peak rank 8 automaton holding down the intruder, once they joined the battle, they would definitely be able to reverse the situation. This way, they would be able to get their hands on the contribution points. Slow down. The others are all coming. When the time comes, we'll seal off this place and then surround them. The rank 6 Samsara immortal body called out. Chapter 1341. Wait, the others are rushing over. When the time comes, we'll seal this place and surround them. The rank 6 Samsara immortal body said in a low voice. In the end, Elder is still the one who thinks deeply. The rank 7 ancient god immediately gave a fawning smile, but he inwardly thought otherwise. As far as he was concerned, Zhao Feng had merely just broken through to the 8th tier. He was also an extremely powerful rank 7 ancient god. If he worked together with the peak rank 8 puppet, he would definitely be able to defeat Zhao Feng. However, since Elder Nether Spring had spoken, he could only obey. Boom, bang. The space of the heavenly demon hall was narrow. If not for the sturdiness of the building and the reinforcement of the formation, it would probably have been completely destroyed by the two of them. Zhao Feng's battle with ancient god Azura Gate focused on space-time intent. The two of them moved erratically, and their battle was incomparably swift and violent, causing others to be unable to react in time. You want to kill me with this little ability? Zhao Feng chuckled. He had the space-time robe. In terms of dodging and defense, he was even stronger than ancient god Azura Gate. Ancient god Azura Gate coldly snorted, his expression gloomy as he said nothing. If he was facing the previous Zhao Feng, ancient god Azura Gate had a 90% chance of victory. But now, Zhao Feng had become a rank 8 ancient god, received significant improvements in all aspects, and he had also obtained a powerful divine artifact like the 9 lightning soul refining mirror. For a moment, ancient god Azura Gate was completely helpless against Zhao Feng. Even so, ancient god Azura Gate was in no rush. This was the Heavenly Demon Hall's territory, and it wouldn't be long before the other experts of the Heavenly Demon Hall rushed over. At that time, Zhao Feng would undoubtedly die. 9 Heavens Thunder Power. Zhao Feng gripped the 9 lightning soul refining mirror in his left hand, sending several thick lightning dragons at ancient god Azura Gate. Heavenly Void Steps. Ancient god Azura Gate's body flickered through the air, completely avoiding Zhao Feng's attack. In addition, he was also defending against Zhao Feng's space-time seal. Previously, he wanted to self-detonate and cause great damage to Zhao Feng. However, Zhao Feng's space-time seal had ruined his plans. Ancient god Azura Gate had a deep understanding of the power of the space-time seal, so he had always been on guard against it. Sky-encompassing Void Slash. Ancient god Azura Gate showed no weakness. He circulated his divine power and swung his sword, unleashing vast and sharp sword slashes. Space-time barrier. Zhao Feng used a space-time barrier to block ancient god Azura Gate's attacks, and then he punched out several times to destroy them. In the distance, the peak rank 6 Samsara immortal body and the rank 7 ancient god had grim expressions. This lad's true strength is stronger than I expected. Ancient god Nether Spring sighed through his Samsara immortal body. Even though Zhao Feng was relying on his 2 supreme-grade god artifacts to fight against the peak tier 8th stage puppet, it was still impossible for Zhao Feng to defeat the 8th stage puppet. However, even without these 2 divine artifacts, it would still be very difficult for the rank 8 puppet to defeat Zhao Feng. In addition, after some observation, ancient god Nether Spring realized that the peak rank 8 puppet was also rather different. The soul intent within it was abnormally powerful, much stronger than that of an ordinary rank 8 puppet. Elder, this intruder truly does have extraordinary strength. The rank 7 ancient god said in shock. He had just broken into rank 8, but his divine power and intent far surpassed that of an ordinary rank 8 ancient god. Coupled with the space-time robe and the 9 lightning soul refining mirror, the peak rank 8 puppet had no advantage at all. In this situation, even if he rushed forward to help, it would be useless. He truly is a genius, but a genius that's about to die. The rank 6 Samsara immortal body gave a sinister smile. At this moment, 3 more people arrived. 2 of them were rank 7 ancient gods while the peak rank 6 was ancient god Nether Spring's Samsara immortal body. Even if everyone attacked together, Zhao Feng's defeat was assured. But just in case, ancient god Nether Spring continued to wait. At this moment, a red-haired man arrived near the battlefield. Elder, I'm here. The red-haired man messaged ancient god Nether Spring's Samsara immortal body. Good. Go. Celestial Dragon's Spatial Lock Array. The rank 6 Samsara immortal body sent out this message. A moment later, powerful energies began to emerge from the area around the battle between Zhao Feng and ancient god Azura Gate. You're dead for sure. Ancient god Azura Gate was elated. This was the territory of the Heavenly Demon Hall, and the members of the Heavenly Demon Hall had already arrived to begin their operation. Only death awaited Zhao Feng. You're finally willing to come out? A smile appeared on Zhao Feng's lips. Although he was in the middle of a fierce battle with ancient god Azura Gate, the powerful see-through ability of his left eye allowed him to observe everything around him. Zhao Feng even knew what ancient god Nether Spring wasn't aware of. Hisses. The area around Zhao Feng and ancient god Azura Gate's battle suddenly began to fiercely ripple in space. 4 illusory dragon heads fiercely charged forward and converged toward the center. In the end, the 4 illusory dragon heads collided, creating a translucent white domain. The Celestial Dragon Spatial Lock Array was not just a method to lock space, but also a sealing domain. Zhao Feng and ancient god Azura Gate immediately felt their space intent become extremely restricted, making it abnormally difficult to use. Space intent has been locked. The effectiveness of your space-time robe has been halved. The ancient god Azura Gate immediately began to exert his strength, his body erupting with divine power. Although he was a space-time god eye descendant with space locked, he could not use his most powerful eye bloodline techniques. But at this moment, he had a peak rank 8 body, and his divine power attacks were extremely powerful. Boom, bang, crash. Several beams of crystalline white light slashed at Zhao Feng. At the same time, members of the Heavenly Demon Hall began to appear around him. Death Light Wave. Destruction Ray. The Heavenly Demon Hall members all attacked Zhao Feng. In the face of so many attacks, Zhao Feng's space-time robe was also suppressed and weakened, making it impossible for him to defend. He could not use space intent, so dodging was also impossible. No matter how one looked at it, he was doomed. But at this moment, an enormous creature suddenly appeared at Zhao Feng's side. Its body was pitch black, its entire body blazing with scarlet-black flames as it protected Zhao Feng in the center. Destructive flames erupted from it, forming a tornado of fire. At the same time, a world-shaking ancient bloodline energy swept through the area, causing everyone's blood to freeze and their souls to tremble. Boom, bang, crash. All the attacks of the Heavenly Demon Hall members that touched the tornado of fire were weakened to a certain extent. These attacks then all landed on the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon. At this moment, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's energy was much stronger than before. It had also taken the Heavenly God Liquid, but its luck wasn't very good. It had only reached the peak of rank 7, only a step away from rank 8. Such a terrifyingly powerful bloodline. What is that? A helper? Everyone stared blankly at the huge pitch-black dragon, their expressions changing slightly. A Black Destruction Serpent Dragon. A Black Destruction Serpent Dragon with the bloodline of the Destruction Dragon race. At this moment, The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon had helped Zhao Feng endure a round of attacks. His entire body was in tatters, with not a single part intact. But without the Eye of Life, his body began to heal at a rate visible to the naked eye. How could this be? How could he have a helper? And a helper with the bloodline of the Destruction Dragon race? Ancient God Nether Spring stared in shock at this sight through his samsara immortal body. In the past, Zhao Feng had been forced into desperate straits several times, but he had never used this trump card. Thus, he believed that he had a thorough understanding of Zhao Feng, but he hadn't expected for Zhao Feng to have a helper. Secondly, if he could successfully capture such a powerful bloodline, he would be able to produce many important research results. But suddenly, Ancient God Nether Spring sensed danger. Not good. The peak rank 6 Samsara immortal body's vision went black, and then he lost consciousness. Meow. At some point, the crafty little thieving cat had appeared behind him. The Samsara immortal body's body had already been split in two, and the special characteristics of the Samsara immortal body had been suppressed by a powerful sealing energy. The Samsara immortal body's soul suffered a fatal blow and was immediately slain. Heaven's Legacy Cat? The Heaven's Legacy Cat was hiding nearby? The other members of the Heavenly Demon Hall immediately cried out in alarm. The Heaven's Legacy Cat was of utmost importance to the Heavenly Demon Hall. Even if all the research results in the treasury had been lost, they could not let the Heaven's Legacy Cat escape. At this moment, in the center of the battlefield, Zhao Feng's eyes flashed with a savage light. Zhao Feng called out, a pair of golden wings condensing on his back. Swish, swish. Zhao Feng's body transformed into a faint golden streak of light as he charged at a rank 7 ancient god at the edge of the domain. In truth, if he had used some of his trump cards, Zhao Feng would have long ago defeated ancient god Azura Gate. The reason he had hidden so many of his cards and was stalling with ancient god Azura Gate was so that he could wait for the nearby people to show themselves. Rather than having Zhao Feng search for them one by one, wouldn't it be better to have them deliver themselves to his doorstep and capture them all in one fell swoop? Even more laughable was that these members were afraid that Zhao Feng would run and had sealed up the dimension, but now, this domain was about to become their prison. 9 Lightning Soul Refinement. Without another word, he took out the 9 Lightning Soul Refining Mirror and activated 7 lightning chains. Klingling. The lightning chains pierced through the rank 7 ancient god's body and bound his soul. Seeking death. Ancient god Azura Gate's face was enraged as he charged at Zhao Feng and swung his sword. Swish, swish, swish. Zhao Feng used the metal lightning radiance wings and the powerful perception of the god's spiritual eye to dodge all the attacks. Without space intent, your attacks don't even have a chance of injuring me. Zhao Feng faintly chuckled as he continued to activate the 9 Lightning Soul Refining Mirror. Damn! Ancient god Azura Gate's face contorted in savagery. Zhao Feng actually dared to say such big words and attack another ancient god right in front of him, completely ignoring ancient god Azura Gate. But as an Eye of Spacetime descendant, he was most skilled in space intent and rarely dabbled in any other combat skills. Click. Zhao Feng extracted the rank 7 ancient god's soul. While Zhao Feng was dealing with one person, the little thieving cat had finished off a peak rank 6 Samsara immortal body. Kill! After recovering, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon surged with destructive draconic flames as it lunged at a peak rank 7 ancient god. The Destruction Dragon race was innately warlike, and the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon had been stifled to death recently. Now that it finally had a chance to fight, it seemed to have gone mad and began to fight with reckless abandon. Next, Zhao Feng sneered as he ignored ancient god Azura Gate and flew off into the distance. He was now a hunter, hunting down members of the Heavenly Demon Hall in the Celestial Dragon Spatial Lock Array. Chapter 1342. In the Secret Hall of the Core Area. That brat actually has the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon and the Heaven's Legacy Cat as his helpers. Ancient god Nether Spring furiously bellowed. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon had a sliver of the Destruction Dragon race bloodline. Although it was a peak rank 7, its true strength was not that of an ordinary rank 8 ancient god. And the Heaven's Legacy Cat was even more unfathomable. Because of this, his plan to gang up and attack was completely ruined. In fact, the Heavenly Dragon Spacelock Formation had even become a prison for the members of the Heavenly Demon Hall. Damn it, both of my Samsara immortal bodies are dead. I can't see what's going on. Ancient God Nether Spring clenched his fists, exuding a gloomy and sinister energy. The Heaven's Legacy Cat seemed to be doing this on purpose, killing the Samsara immortal bodies first. Although Ancient God Nether Spring had many Samsara immortal bodies, the power displayed by Zhao Feng's group wasn't enough. Once those ordinary Samsara immortal bodies got close, they would just be sending themselves to death. Furthermore, if one was sucked into the 9 lightning soul refining mirror and refined into a lightning soul crystal, even a Samsara immortal body would not be able to revive. You two, hurry up and get there. Ancient God Nether Spring ordered the Devil Saint God duo. Given the current situation, only the Devil Saint God duo could deal with Zhao Feng and the others. As for that rank 9 Samsara immortal body, because it was in the outer regions of the Heavenly Demon Hall, it was the furthest away. It would still take some time for it to rush over. Elder, I found the information on the peak stage tier 8 mechanical puppet. An operator found out who the owner of the mechanical puppet was based on its appearance. He immediately questioned the owner and obtained all the information. He then relayed all this information to Ancient God Nether Spring. What? That kid killed Ancient God Azura Gate as soon as he snuck in, and none of you noticed? Ancient God Nether Spring had just calmed down, but now his mind was once more set aflame. There was no way to vent the rage in his heart. The people in the secret hall immediately fell silent. After a long while, Ancient God Nether Spring calmed down and began to think. That brat seems to have known everything about the surroundings since the beginning. Ancient God Nether Spring's face chilled. The Heavenly Demon Hall's construction materials were special, and it was reinforced by an array formation, which had a strong divine sense blocking effect. However, Zhao Feng, who was fighting the Type 8 mechanical golem, seemed to be aware of everything around him. At this moment, Ancient God Nether Spring encountered a new situation through his Samsara immortal body. It's Ancient God Luo Ling. Ancient God Nether Spring's voice was icy cold. At this moment, Ancient God Luo Ling was preparing to sneak into the secret hall, but there were far too many patrollers in the core area, including many of Ancient God Nether Spring's Samsara immortal bodies. Just a moment ago, Ancient God Luo Ling was discovered by a Samsara immortal body. Fortunately, she immediately retreated. How could this be? Ancient God Luo Ling felt that something was amiss. Charging in at a time like this was far too dangerous. After weighing the pros and cons, she decided to retreat. Furthermore, she had a way to leave the Heavenly Demon Hall. Why don't we help him? Ancient God Luo Ling suddenly thought of Zhao Feng. Previously, when she decided to enter the secret hall again, Zhao Feng warned her that it was too dangerous, but Ancient God Luo Ling did not listen to his advice. Moreover, looking at Zhao Feng's appearance, it seemed like he had no way of leaving the Heavenly Demon Hall and was waiting for an opportunity. Just take it as returning his favor. Ancient God Luo Ling whispered before leaving. Once Ancient God Luo Ling left, a rank 8 Samsara immortal body appeared nearby, but it exuded the soul energy of a rank 9 Ancient God. Ancient God Luo Ling and that brat are together. Ancient God Nether Spring once more fell into thought. He still didn't know Zhao Feng's true identity and believed that Zhao Feng was the same as Ancient God Luo Ling, a member of the space-time sacred land. Could Ancient God Luo Ling be planning to meet up with that brat and leave this place with the Heaven's Legacy Cat? Ancient God Nether Spring's eyes flashed. If Ancient God Luo Ling met up with Zhao Feng, the Devil Saint God duo would only be sending themselves to their deaths. Not even a rank 9 Samsara immortal body would be able to deal with them, and the Heaven's Legacy Cat might also be taken away. If I don't capture you, what face will I have left? Ancient God Nether Spring growled. The Heavenly Demon Hall only had 2 infiltrators in total. The 2 of them were about to meet up. This meant that Ancient God Nether Spring no longer needed to oversee this place. Even if something else happened, nothing was more important than the Heaven's Legacy Cat and the 2 infiltrators. With this thought in mind, ancient god Netherspring's body transformed into a fog of dusk and vanished from the secret hall. Where do you think you're going? If you have the skills, fight me. Ancient god Azura Gate angrily roared. Ever since the celestial dragon spatial lock array was laid down, Zhao Feng had not fought with him. Instead, he had attacked the other members of the Heavenly Demon Hall. Just a moment ago, a rank 7 ancient god had been killed in front of him. This feeling of helplessness and humiliation made ancient god Azura Gate almost lose his mind. Zhao Feng coldly laughed. He didn't fight with ancient god Azura Gate not because he was afraid of him. It was just that killing ancient god Azura Gate was rather troublesome. If he allowed the others here to escape, he would suffer a loss. Thus, Zhao Feng decided to kill the others first. In a flash of golden light, Zhao Feng appeared in front of an azure-robed rank 7 ancient god. Hurry and undo the array. The azure-robed ancient god grimaced in panic at the sight of Zhao Feng charging at him. The celestial dragon spatial lock array was created by 4 people using a special tool. Undoing it required 4 people, or else it would be extremely troublesome. 2 of the Samsara immortal bodies had died, and Zhao Feng had killed one while the other was being held down by the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon. At this moment, only the red-haired man and the azure-robed ancient god were left. The 2 of them had begun to undo the array the moment the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon and the Heaven's Legacy Cat appeared, but they had yet to succeed. 9 Lightning Soul Refinement. Zhao Feng activated the Supreme Quality Divine Artifact, the 9 Lightning Soul Refining Mirror. Oh no! The azure-robed ancient god immediately stopped trying to undo the array and began to flee. Swish. However, the speed of the 7 chains was not the slightest bit slower than him. They followed closely behind him like venomous lightning snakes. As long as he relaxed for a moment, he would be entangled. Don't even think about succeeding. At this moment, ancient god Azura Gate charged at Zhao Feng. The sword in his hand madly danced, unleashing countless massive blades that filled the world. Chaos Origin Shield. Zhao Feng circulated his Chaos Origin divine power, forming a dark and twisted shield of light around himself. Ignoring ancient god Azura Gate, he focused all his attention on the azure-robed ancient god. Don't. The azure-robed ancient god howled in fear. Clinging, his soul was dragged out by the 7 lightning chains. No matter how he struggled, he couldn't escape. Collect. Zhao Feng's 9 lightning soul refining mirror took in another soul. Meow. On the side, the little thieving cat was happily dancing around, completely uninvolved. It only killed ancient god Netherspring's 2 Samsara immortal bodies and didn't care about anything else. This was Zhao Feng's order. After all, if they were killed by the little thieving cat, they still had a chance to be revived. If the 9 lightning soul refining mirror absorbed their souls, not only could it avoid this, but it could also refine them into lightning soul crystals. How could this be? The red-haired man in the array was dumbstruck. They had originally created a trapping array to surround and kill Zhao Feng, but now, they were being imprisoned and slaughtered by Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng flew toward the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon. At this moment, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's opponent was on the verge of death. 9 Lightning Soul Refinement. Zhao Feng activated the 9 Lightning Soul Refining Mirror and took in another person. The only ones left in the array were Ancient God Azura Gate and the red-haired man. At this moment, a rank 8 Ancient God arrived outside the array. What happened? How could this be? The rank 8 Ancient God was stunned. Before coming, he was worried that he would be too late and that the intruder would already be captured. He didn't expect to be greeted by this sight. He wanted to go in and help the members of the Heavenly Demon Hall, but he couldn't break the Celestial Dragon's spatial lock array. All he could do was stare in a daze at what was happening inside the array. This can't be real. This kid, how could this be? The red-haired man and Ancient God Azura Gate were both stunned and filled with deep fear. Only the 2 of them were left, but they were keenly aware that they were no match for Zhao Feng's group. And the powerful reinforcements of the Heavenly Demon Hall had yet to arrive. Were they also going to die here? They were keenly aware that once the 9 Lightning Soul Refining Mirror absorbed their souls, they wouldn't even have a chance to be revived. Kill him first. Zhao Feng and the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon glanced at each other, and then they attacked the red-haired man. The red-haired man and Ancient God Azura Gate were both rank 8s, but Ancient God Azura Gate was a peak rank 8, making him rather difficult to deal with. No! The red-haired man screamed as he madly fled. But in terms of speed, he wasn't as fast as Zhao Feng, and with the restriction of space, he had nowhere to run. 9 Lightning Soul Refinement. Zhao Feng activated the 9 Lightning Soul Refining Mirror, sending 7 chains of lightning howling forward. Destruction Dragon Flame. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon unleashed 2 balls of scarlet-black flame from its claws. These flames instantly transformed into 2 scarlet-black tornadoes that wreaked havoc and annihilated all. Hurry and save me. If we work together, we might be able to deal with them. The red-haired man was in grave danger and asked Ancient God Azura Gate for help. We've lost. Even if we work together, we're no match for them. Ancient God Azura Gate had a sorrowful expression. He was no match for Zhao Feng, and the red-haired man was no match for the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon. Besides, there was also the Heaven's Legacy Cat watching from the side. Earth-shaking Nova. Zhao Feng seized the opportunity to unleash a powerful eye bloodline technique. Boom! Bang! The red-haired man's body was bombarded by chaotic energy, and his entire body was blasted to pieces. Klingling. His soul was dragged into the 9 Lightning Soul Refining Mirror by the chains of lightning. The only person left in the array was Ancient God Azura Gate. Zhao Feng and the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon both looked at him. I don't want to die. Ancient God Azura Gate gave a shrill howl. Suddenly, his body began to exude frightening ripples of energy. Not good. Self-detonate. Zhao Feng and the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon immediately retreated and put up layers of defenses. This way, I won't have to die. Ancient God Azura Gate had a pained and sorrowful look on his face. By detonating his soul, Zhao Feng wouldn't be able to take it away. This way, he still had a chance to be revived. Ancient God Azura Gate bitterly smiled. He had never imagined that he would be forced into this situation, that he would have to use self-detonation for a chance at survival. Meow. The little thieving cat jumped up to Zhao Feng and extended a paw, unleashing a screen of runes. This screen was imbued with sealing intent and seemed capable of suppressing any kind of energy. Boom. Bang. A terrifying storm of energy swept through the Celestial Dragon's spatial lock array. The world faintly trembled, and the Celestial Dragon's spatial lock array was blown to pieces. The surroundings were empty, and the rank 8 Ancient God outside the array sensed that something was wrong and had long ago fled. However, Zhao Feng noticed that someone had appeared not far behind Ancient God Azura Gate's explosion. Chapter 1343. Ancient God Luo Ling originally planned to find Zhao Feng and take him away with her. After all, the two of them had worked together at the very beginning, and later on, Zhao Feng had kindly warned Ancient God Luo Ling taking Zhao Feng away from this place would be as easy as lifting a finger. But when she arrived at the place where Zhao Feng was hiding, she sensed enormous ripples of energy and heaven-shaking explosions. At the start, Ancient God Luo Ling believed that Zhao Feng's hiding place had been discovered by the Heavenly Demon Hall and that the two sides were fighting. She prepared to rush over and help Zhao Feng. But when she arrived at the Celestial Dragon's spatial lock array, she saw that Zhao Feng and the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon were working together to kill the red-haired man while the peak rank 8 puppet had chosen to self-detonate. The man and puppet had expressions of pain, grief, helplessness, and humiliation. This sight was a massive blow to Ancient God Luo Ling. Although Zhao Feng had a helper, it was only a peak rank 7, yet it was still enough to force his opponent into this state. This was not something that someone who had just broken into rank 8 could do. If Ancient God Luo Ling hadn't worked together with Zhao Feng at the very beginning, she would have never believed that the person in the 5-colored mist was Zhao Feng. He killed a rank 8 Ancient God in a direct confrontation and even forced a peak rank 8 puppet to self-detonate. Ancient God Luo Ling's face was rather dazed. A peak rank 8 puppet had actually chosen to self-detonate without any intention of fighting. It was hard to imagine just what had happened in the Celestial Dragon's spatial lock array. At this moment, Zhao Feng also noticed ancient god Luo Ling. How did you come here? Zhao Feng looked at ancient god Luo Ling and asked. Didn't ancient god Luo Ling go to the core secret hall? Even if she failed, she should have been looking for a chance to escape. Why did she come to find him? At this moment, the little thieving cat used some sort of method to easily undo the Celestial Dragon's spatial lock array. Ancient god Luo Ling grimaced. Because of the array, her senses weren't very complete. Now that the array formation had disappeared, she instantly felt an intense aura of death. Obviously, it wasn't just the red-haired man and the mechanical puppet that had died in this formation. Ancient god Luo Ling suddenly turned to the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon. Destruction Dragon Tribe. Ancient god Luo Ling was even more shocked. The aura of the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon caused her bloodline to tremble slightly. Although the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's bloodline was extremely weak, it was still the bloodline of the Destruction Dragon race, which was ranked in the top 10 of the 10,000 ancient races. The strongest Destruction Dragon race bloodline was even comparable to the 8 Great God Eye bloodlines. I saw you hiding there and thought you couldn't get out, so I came back to take you away. Ancient god Luo Ling hesitated for a few moments before speaking. Now, she had already regarded Zhao Feng as an equal existence to her. He had just broken through to the 8th Order, yet he had such a shocking battle record. He was not inferior to her at all. Zhao Feng's mind stirred. He was indeed waiting for an opportunity to leave. But if he left with ancient god Luo Ling, he would definitely attract the attention of the space-time sacred land. Back in the wild ancient secret dimension, Zhao Feng had taken the space-time robe from the space-time sacred land's team, sowing a grudge. Zhao Feng was just about to refuse when an idea suddenly popped up in his mind. Let's make a deal. Zhao Feng straightforwardly said. I'll take you out. I don't need anything from you. A hint of disdain flashed through ancient god Luo Ling's eyes. Zhao Feng's words caused ancient god Luo Ling to mistakenly believe that Zhao Feng meant that she wanted to take Zhao Feng out for some treasure on Zhao Feng's body. However, ancient god Luo Ling truly did desire the space-time robe. You misunderstand. I want to make another deal with you. Zhao Feng faintly smiled. Ancient god Luo Ling was startled for a moment, and then her face slightly blushed. What deal? Ancient god Luo Ling whispered. I'll let you enter the space-time robe's dimension and break into rank 9, and you will help me with something. Zhao Feng faintly smiled. You want me to break into rank 9 and enter the space-time robe's dimension? Ancient god Luo Ling was stunned. One had to realize that each of the 3 ranks of the ancient god realm was extremely difficult to break through. Even with the help of a higher-level expert, breaking through was not something that could be done just because one wanted to. And the person who was saying this to ancient god Luo Ling was someone with a lower cultivation than her. In addition, entering the space-time robe's dimension was equivalent to feeling out the core of the space-time robe. Although the space-time robe already had a master, once Zhao Feng was heavily injured or ancient god Luo Ling had some special method, she was completely capable of taking it away. Heavenly God Liquid? Have you heard of it? Zhao Feng asked. Only by taking the Heavenly God Liquid for the first time would one have an extremely high chance of breaking through. Zhao Feng had never heard of this Heavenly God Liquid before. It was probably a treasure developed by the Heaven's legacy race for breaking through. Thus, ancient god Luo Ling had probably never taken the Heavenly God Liquid before. Ancient god Luo Ling shook her head, indicating that she had never heard of it. This treasure has a certain chance of allowing a rank 9 true god expert to directly break into a rank. The lower one's cultivation, the higher the chance. I used this treasure to break into rank 8 ancient god. You're already peak rank 8, so there shouldn't be much of a problem. Zhao Feng began to explain the details to ancient god Luo Ling. Although peak rank 8 wasn't much of a problem, Zhao Feng didn't dare to guarantee it with 100% certainty. No one could say for sure about something like probability. Thus, he first explained the situation clearly. I agree. Ancient god Luo Ling immediately agreed. The deal that Zhao Feng proposed was only beneficial to her. But Zhao Feng took out a contract scroll. The primary purpose of the contract was to restrict ancient god Luo Ling so that after she entered the space-time robe dimension, she wouldn't be able to do anything to the space-time robe and would have to focus on breaking through. Zhao Feng then gave one of the 2 remaining portions of heavenly god liquid to ancient god Luo Ling Swish. With a wave of the space-time robe, ancient god Luo Ling and the black destruction serpent dragon both entered the dimension. Cling-clang. The little thieving cat tossed out several bronze coins and then pointed in a certain direction. Zhao Feng flew off in the direction that the little thieving cat had pointed. In a certain secret cultivation room, a figure suddenly appeared. Elder, the intruders have fled to the east. He immediately took out his token and sent a message. Originally, this person was following ancient god Nether Spring's orders and heading to the target location to surround and kill Zhao Feng. However, the situation had changed, and they had also received orders not to approach the target location. Thus, quite a few members of the Heavenly Demon Hall were hiding in the vicinity of the target location, including ancient god Nether Spring's Samsara immortal body. Within the Heavenly Demon Hall, ancient god Nether Spring was traveling at full speed. His Eye of Samsara was not skilled in combat, and his speed was no exception. Thus, he wasn't just a little bit slower than ancient god Luo Ling, a descendant of the space-time god Eye. At this moment, he took out a token and sensed it. You think you can escape? Ancient god Nether Spring coldly snorted. This time, he was personally taking action. The 2 intruders were doomed, and the Heaven's Legacy Cat wouldn't be able to escape. No, to the east. Ancient god Nether Spring grimaced, and then he began to think. Damn. They're fleeing in the safest direction. Ancient god Nether Spring immediately began to curse. His rank 9 Samsara immortal body was coming from the west while he was traveling from the north. Coincidentally, Zhao Feng was fleeing to the east. Did Zhao Feng know all this? It has to be the Heaven's Legacy Cat. Ancient god Nether Spring immediately understood. The Heaven's Legacy Cat had been staying at Zhao Feng's side this entire time. The mighty Heaven's Legacy Cat was completely capable of predicting this sort of thing. It's just prolonging the time before you die. Ancient god Nether Spring didn't care. In addition, the Devil Saint God duo would probably catch up to Zhao Feng first. He didn't need them to capture Zhao Feng, just disturb and restrain Zhao Feng's group. If they wanted to, it would be fine as long as they didn't lose him. Once ancient god Nether Spring and his rank 9 Samsara immortal body arrived, everything would be settled. The corridors of the Heavenly Demon Hall were as complicated as a maze. The wings on Zhao Feng's back flapped, and his body transformed into a faint golden streak of light as he flew through the corridors. I hope that ancient god Luo Ling can break through soon, Zhao Feng thought to himself. In truth, he could just leave with ancient god Luo Ling. However, Zhao Feng was still somewhat unwilling to just leave, so he made a deal with ancient god Luo Ling. Once ancient god Luo Ling broke into rank 9, they would be able to do as they pleased in the Heavenly Demon Hall. In addition, the greatest beneficiary of this deal was ancient god Luo Ling. From a certain perspective, Zhao Feng had also established a good relationship with the space-time sacred land. They came so quickly. Zhao Feng's eyes flashed. At a fork in the road, Zhao Feng suddenly took a turn. At the same time, the Devil Saint God duo suddenly appeared at the entrance to the corridor. An infiltrator? The 2 of them immediately cried out in alarm. They had received ancient god Nether Spring's order that they only needed to hold down the infiltrator and not lose him. When they first saw Zhao Feng, the 2 of them were given quite a fright. Based on what ancient god Nether Spring had said, Zhao Feng's group was far stronger than them, so they could not engage in a direct confrontation. But in reality, Zhao Feng had fled the moment he saw them. If Zhao Feng's group was stronger than them, why would he run? The Devil Saint God duo found it rather hard to understand. After him, the 2 immediately pursued. But Zhao Feng paid them no attention. Moreover, Zhao Feng was just a little faster than them. If this continued, they were certain to be thrown off. Damn, this kid is even faster than us. The Devil Saint God duo felt like they had lost a great deal of face. In truth, if Zhao Feng flew at full speed, the 2 of them would have never been able to catch up. However, Zhao Feng had just experienced a major battle and was quite exhausted. He had more important things to do, so there was no need to waste energy on this. Moreover, it wasn't important whether he could throw off these two or not. Ghost Demon Blade. Holy Light Fairy Spirit Sword. The Devil Saint God duo unleashed powerful attacks to interfere with Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng dodged a few times, but he continued to ignore the two as he recklessly charged through the corridors of the Heavenly Demon Hall. Still not done. Taking too long would be dangerous. Zhao Feng sent his mind into the space-time robe. At this moment, ancient god Luo Ling was at a crucial moment in forming her divine stage. Suddenly, the fleeing Zhao Feng slowed down. Oh no! Zhao Feng grimaced as he turned and charged toward the Devil Saint God duo. Huh? Where do you think you're going? The Devil Saint God duo coldly laughed as they charged at Zhao Feng. They were not at all surprised by Zhao Feng's sudden abnormality. At this moment, a powerful energy that made one's mind tremble came from nearby. Gradually, the air became scorching hot, and the air crackled with electricity. Intruder, die! A deafening roar reverberated through the air. A massive red figure appeared at the end of the corridor. It had a human body and a dragon head, 2 wings on its back, and a savage and tyrannical face. This was none other than a rank 9 Samsara immortal body, an expert of the Thunderflame ancient dragon race. Chapter 1344. Intruder, die! The powerful being of the Thunderflame ancient dragon tribe roared the moment he appeared, causing the void around him to tremble slightly. Rank 9 Samsara immortal body. Without another word, Zhao Feng turned and fled. If this was an ordinary rank 9 ancient god, Zhao Feng might have been able to fight back with his 2 supreme quality divine artifacts. But this Thunderflame ancient dragon had been a terrifying race that specialized in combat while alive, and now that it had an immortal body, clashing with it was tantamount to seeking death. Moreover, the Devil Saint God duo was nearby. Get out of my way! Zhao Feng had only just turned around when he saw the Devil Saint God duo attacking him. He immediately circulated his Chaos Origin divine power to form a dark and twisted shield of light, and then he activated the 9 Lightning Soul Refining Mirror. Swish! The 9 Lightning Soul Refining Mirror fiercely spewed out an incomparably huge lightning dragon. This astonishing energy and lightning left the Devil Saint God duo slightly alarmed, but as Samsara immortal bodies, they had nothing to fear. Forbidden Illusion Lost World. As the Devil Saint God duo prepared to unleash a powerful attack, Zhao Feng's left eye immediately used a soul illusion technique. Although the Devil Saint God duo were both peak rank 8, they were still momentarily confused by Zhao Feng's illusion technique. Boom! Bang! Crush! The Devil Saint God duo was on the back foot, and the enormous lightning dragon tore through them, causing their bodies to shatter and fall back. Zhao Feng used this opening to flee. Where do you think you're going? The rank 9 Samsara immortal body bellowed and waved its hand. Kaboom! A dazzling dragon of lightning and fire shot forward. In both momentum and power, it far surpassed the lightning dragon attack unleashed by Zhao Feng's 9 Lightning Soul Refining Mirror. The lightning dragon left a trail of destruction in its wake. Space-time barrier. Zhao Feng immediately activated the space-time robe, unleashing a spatial layer that seemed both real and fake. The moment the lightning dragon touched this space-time energy, it was immediately affected. Rumble. A few moments later, the space-time energy was blasted apart by the lightning dragon. But by this time, Zhao Feng had already fled. Quickly chase after him, don't let that brat get away. The Devil Saint God duo immediately shouted. Now that ancient god Nether Springs rank 9 Samsara immortal body had arrived, did the intruder still have the strength to resist? Even if he fled with all his might, he would not be able to escape the Thunderflame ancient dragon's palm. There's no hurry. The Thunderflame ancient dragon said in a low voice. The Devil Saint God duo were just about to question him when they received a message from ancient god Nether Spring. This infiltrator has probably already met up with ancient god Luo Ling. He also has the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon and the Heaven's Legacy Cat as helpers. Capture him if you can, but don't let him escape. Is that so? But Master, why did you come personally? After hearing that, the devil-saint god duo was taken aback. If what their master said was true, the two of them and the Thunderflame ancient dragon might not be able to capture Zhao Feng. But if ancient god Nether Spring personally came, there would be no problem. Although the Eye of Samsara was not skilled in combat, ancient god Nether Spring was still a rank 9 ancient god. His strength could not be underestimated. At this moment, everyone in the Heavenly Demon Hall will listen to my orders and gather around you. When the time comes, I'll have them taste despair. Ancient god Nether Spring coldly snorted, his icy words echoing in their souls. Ancient god Nether Spring's hatred for Zhao Feng was indescribable. For the sake of victory in this operation, ancient god Nether Spring had brought out all his strength and was even personally taking action. In addition, he had mobilized everyone in the Heavenly Demon Hall that he could mobilize. He had mobilized such a large force just to kill 2 intruders and capture the Heaven's legacy cat. It's not in a rush to catch up? Zhao Feng was rather surprised. In normal circumstances, the rank 9 Samsara immortal body would have put all its effort into capturing him. With the Thunderflame ancient dragon speed, it wouldn't be too difficult for it to catch up to Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng had already made his preparations. If he was no match, he would use his trump cards and have the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon and the Heaven's Legacy Cat take action. If that still didn't work, he would call for reinforcements from the ancient dream realm. But while the Thunderflame ancient dragon and the Devil Saint God duo were still pursuing Zhao Feng, they weren't putting much effort into it. That's fine. Since you've given me time, I'll give you a pleasant surprise. Zhao Feng chuckled as he continued to flee. All the members of the Heavenly Demon Hall that could move were under ancient god Nether Spring's orders. In a secret room, a thin woman had a fearful expression. She was one of the members who had worked together with ancient god Profound Devil's group to massacre the ruins of the Heaven's Legacy race. It really is him. Ancient god Profound Devil and the others are all dead. The thin woman was rather disappointed. After all, the 6 of them had been carrying out missions for many years, but now she was the only one left. The thin woman suddenly took out a message token. After receiving ancient god Nether Spring's message, she did not move. The thin woman had interacted with Zhao Feng many times, so she had enough clues. She could use the Eye of Destiny to roughly predict what would happen to her. The bad side. Capture the infiltrator. Everyone will be rewarded with contribution points. A white-haired old man excitedly made his move. All the members of the Heavenly Demon Hall began to move in a general direction. As for the fleeing Zhao Feng, he finally realized what was happening. His god's spiritual eye could see that there were quite a few people moving around, but none of them had appeared to attack him. I didn't think that the Heavenly Demon Hall would mobilize such a large force just to deal with me. Zhao Feng helplessly smiled. These people were truly overestimating him. Up ahead, what's that? Zhao Feng's eyes froze. At the same time, Zhao Feng felt an enormous pressure from behind him. The area around him became scorching hot, and lightning could be faintly seen. Boom! The Thunderflame ancient dragon and the Devil Saint God duo suddenly exerted their greatest speed and pursued. At the same time, several unfamiliar figures began to appear around Zhao Feng. Although they couldn't see Zhao Feng, they had received someone's orders and knew where to go, so they were rapidly surrounding Zhao Feng. Let me see just how long you can be so arrogant. At this moment, a cold and resounding roar came from up ahead. Boom, bang, crash. As an enormous energy crushed down, the surrounding buildings collapsed and shattered. A moment later, a pitch-black figure appeared in Zhao Feng's vision. He was dressed in a black robe, and he was shrouded in a gloomy and sinister mist. His eyes that seemed to lead to the underworld were locked onto Zhao Feng. When ancient god Nether Spring saw Zhao Feng, his face became abnormally savage and terrifying. Anger, agitation, and resentment all appeared on his face. Rank 9 Samsara God Eye Descendant. Zhao Feng indifferently stared at ancient god Nether Spring. Zhao Feng had exchanged many blows with ancient god Nether Spring, but this was the first time the two had ever met. I didn't think that you would personally take action. Zhao Feng truly hadn't expected this. It seemed like ancient god Nether Spring's hatred for him had already reached its limit. Zhao Feng finally understood why the Thunderflame ancient dragon hadn't immediately killed him. Ancient god Nether Spring wanted to torture Zhao Feng, personally kill him, and even turn him into a samsara immortal body so that Zhao Feng would beg for death. At this moment, the Thunderflame ancient dragon and the Devil Saint God duo appeared behind Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng could also sense other weak auras around him. The ancient god Nether Spring coldly stared at Zhao Feng. As he spoke, Zhao Feng could already sense the extremely oppressive ripples of divine power around him. Slow down. Don't you want to know why the Heaven's Legacy Cat is willing to follow me and listen to my orders? Zhao Feng suddenly said. Ancient god Nether Spring was taken aback. He wasn't surprised that Zhao Feng knew of the Heaven's Legacy Cat. What he was truly interested in was why the Heaven's Legacy Cat was willing to follow Zhao Feng, help Zhao Feng obtain the treasures in the treasury, and even listen to Zhao Feng's orders to kill members of the Heavenly Demon Hall. Previously, when they captured the Heaven's Legacy Cat, it refused to cooperate no matter what they did. Tell me your method, and I can give you a quick death. Ancient god Nether Spring hesitated for a few moments before speaking again. Zhao Feng had to be killed. If he could get some information out of him, that would be for the best. Even if he couldn't, it didn't matter. After all, the Heaven's Legacy Cat would soon be taken away by a God Lord expert. If I hand over everything I stole from the treasury, can you let me go? Zhao Feng put on a fearful expression as he began to bargain with Ancient God Nether Spring. Ancient God Nether Spring's expression froze, his brow furrowing. If he directly tried to kill Zhao Feng when he was no match for him, he might self-detonate, destroying the majority of the treasures. Ancient god Nether Spring felt his mind go haywire. No, he's just buying time. Ancient god Nether Spring grimaced, his icy killing intent almost tangible. Just now, he had been so distracted by the prophet in Zhao Feng's words that he hadn't thought things through. Now that he had calmed down, he realized many suspicious points. Firstly, Zhao Feng had only been randomly running through the Heavenly Demon Hall, not looking for an exit. Secondly, ancient god Luo Ling had met up with Zhao Feng, but there was no sign of her. Finally, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon and the Heaven's Legacy Cat had not appeared. All of this was too abnormal, and ancient god Nether Spring felt a little uneasy. Kill him, ancient god Nether Spring ordered. The next instant, a shocking surge of eye intent shot out from his left eye, and a surge of intent that transcended everything surged out from it. On the other side, the Thunderflame ancient dragon's claws unleashed a scarlet net of lightning that twisted into a ball of dreadful energy. Zhao Feng could also sense that there were other ripples of divine power in the surroundings. At this moment, Zhao Feng was surrounded by 2 rank 9s, 2 peak rank 8s, and several other ancient gods. He was at the end of his rope. Can you kill me? Zhao Feng coldly laughed. As soon as he said that, everyone around him was stunned. Then, a mocking look appeared on their faces. You're at death's door, but you're still so arrogant. What a joke. A moment later, you'll die without a grave. The many ancient gods jeered in disdain. Only ancient god Nether Spring felt even more uneasy. BZZ. A gloomy ball of light exploded from his eyes, suffused with ultimate samsara intent that seemed capable of restraining all living beings in the world. Ancient god Nether Spring's eye bloodline technique was about to strike Zhao Feng, but he still appeared unconcerned. It's time for you to show your skills, Zhao Feng muttered as he waved his sleeve. A silver-clothed woman with exquisite facial features and an exquisite body suddenly appeared. Void Spirit Slash. The moment ancient god Luo Ling appeared, she lightly waved the silver scimitar in her hand, unleashing a silver flash of light. Swoosh! Ancient god Nether Spring's eye bloodline technique was pierced through by this silver flash of light. A moment later, ancient god Nether Spring's eye bloodline technique was sliced into countless pieces and scattered. Chapter 1345. Ancient god Luo Ling suddenly appeared and dispelled ancient god Nether Spring's eye bloodline technique with a single move. At the same time, the worldly energy of a rank 9 ancient god swept through the area. This energy even caused the few rank 8 and rank 7 attacks in the area to pause for a few moments. Rank 9 Ancient God? Ancient God Nether Spring stared at Ancient God Luo Ling in shock. Ancient God Luo Ling had clearly met up with Zhao Feng, but she still hadn't appeared. This made him rather uneasy. He finally understood. Ancient God Luo Ling had been hiding in the space-time robe dimension, taking heavenly god liquid to cultivate and break through. Originally, although Zhao Feng's group possessed extraordinary strength, the Heavenly Demon Hall had 2 rank 9 ancient gods, which should have given them the upper hand. But now, a rank 9 ancient god had appeared on Zhao Feng's side, causing the balance of victory to slightly tilt in their favor. She actually broke into rank 9? The Thunderflame Ancient Dragon stared at Ancient God Luo Ling, its expression darkening. It had fought with Ancient God Luo Ling before. Although Ancient God Luo Ling couldn't fight head-on against it, if she wanted to run, the Thunderflame Ancient Dragon couldn't do anything. Now that Ancient God Luo Ling had become a rank 9 ancient god, she would be even more troublesome to deal with. Broom. Ancient God Luo Ling only managed to block Ancient God Nether Spring's attack. At this moment, the attacks of everyone else began to descend. Space-time barrier. Zhao Feng activated the space-time robe, unleashing layers upon layers of spatial blurs. At the same time, Ancient God Luo Ling activated her Eye of Space-Time and unleashed a white ball of light. This white ball of light fused with Zhao Feng's space-time barrier and engulfed the two of them. The two had worked together before, so their cooperation this time was even more harmonious. Boom! The attacks of the Heavenly Demon Hall members were immediately affected by the space-time intent the moment they touched the ball of light around them. Not only were the attacks weakened, but they also became extremely slow. During this time, Zhao Feng and Ancient God Luo Ling swiftly moved to destroy all the attacks. The tacit cooperation of the two left everyone alarmed. They were now even more certain that they were members of the space-time sacred land and had an extremely good relationship. Many thanks for your heavenly god liquid, Ancient God Luo Ling gratefully said. She was already at the peak of Tier 8, so her chances of success were indeed very high. Moreover, using the deity elixir to cultivate and break through would not cause her foundation to become unstable. More importantly, now that her cultivation had reached the 9th rank, she didn't need to swallow her anger like before. She could even go to the secret hall again. It's just a deal. I'm not helping you unconditionally, Zhao Feng said casually. Zhao Feng helped Ancient God Luo Ling break into rank 9, but the corresponding condition was that Ancient God Luo Ling and Zhao Feng would fight together. All this while, Zhao Feng had been hiding everywhere. Now, he could finally vent his anger. The two of them conversed as if no one else was present, causing the expressions of the surrounding Heavenly Demon Hall members to change. Hee, even if you break through to the 9th order, do you think you can get out of here alive? At this moment, Ancient God Nether Spring sneered. The people of the space-time sacred land were still so arrogant and condescending. At this moment, Zhao Feng's scheme had finally been exposed, but it wouldn't have much of an impact on the overall situation, so Ancient God Nether Spring was not worried. Surround and kill. Ancient God Nether Spring immediately ordered. Boom boom boom. Enormous energies soared into the sky around Zhao Feng and Ancient God Luo Ling, causing all of the Heavenly Demon Hall to tremble. A moment later, several sharp divine power attacks appeared around the pair. All of you come out as well. Zhao Feng bellowed. Swish, the black destruction serpent dragon, Zhao Wang, and the little thieving cat appeared next to him. After taking the heavenly god liquid, Zhao Wang had smoothly broken into the rank 7 ancient god level, giving him the right to directly participate in the battle with Zhao Feng. There's still one more person. Ancient God Nether Spring's brow creased. Although he had never seen Zhao Wang before, Zhao Wang was just a rank 7 ancient god, so Ancient God Nether Spring didn't care too much about him. Broom. The Thunderflame Ancient Dragon charged at Ancient God Luo Ling, wreathed in lightning and fire. Let me see if you've gotten any stronger after breaking into rank 9. The Thunderflame Ancient Dragon was shrouded in clouds of lightning and fire as it rumbled toward Ancient God Luo Ling. Even Ancient God Luo Ling's face turned grave from the terrifying energy of the world, and all she could do was dodge. The Thunderflame Ancient Dragon was left to ancient god Luo Ling while Zhao Feng searched for his own target. Zhao Feng moved with incredible speed, his body blinking as he approached a rank 8 ancient god. He activated the 9 lightning soul refining mirror, unleashing 7 chains of lightning that bound and restrained the opponent's soul. Chaos Origin Divine Fist. Wind Lightning Eye Flame. At the same time, Zhao Feng unleashed a fist of gloomy light while his left eye unleashed a bolt of lightning and fire. After a few exchanges, the rank 8 ancient god was defeated, and his battered soul was drawn into the 9 lightning soul refining mirror by Zhao Feng. How could this be? He instantly killed a rank 8 ancient god? Didn't he just break into rank 8? How could he be so strong? Quite a few nearby ancient god experts called out in shock as they put some distance between themselves and Zhao Feng. The fighting power Zhao Feng displayed was far too terrifying. Other than ancient god Nether Spring, the Devil Saint God duo, and the Thunderflame Ancient Dragon, no one else present was a match for him. At this moment, the scream of a rank 7 ancient god came from the other side. A black hole suffused with death energy had appeared on the rank 7 ancient god's body, constantly sucking away at his life. Death Curse Art. Zhao Wang waved the staff of Death Curse and unleashed a wondrous curse energy. The rank 7 ancient god's body was instantly engulfed in a sinister and gloomy ghost curtain, and his condition continued to decline. The Death Curse Art and the Death Black Hole fused together. A few moments later, the rank 7 ancient god was instantly killed by Zhao Wang. This Death God Eye descendant is so strong. The divine artifact in his hand seems to be a supreme quality divine artifact, the Staff of Death Curse. A Death God Eye descendant called out in alarm. The Staff of Death Curse was a supreme quality offensive divine artifact that Death God Eye descendants could only dream about. It could be used with the Eye of Death, and it also contained curse energy. When used with death intent, its power was unparalleled. Another supreme quality divine artifact? Ancient God Nether Spring's eyes flashed, and he found Zhao Feng to be even more unfathomable. Boom, bang, crash. On the other side, a dreadful energy of destruction and calamity swept through the area. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon grew larger, transforming into a vicious serpent dragon. Every movement it made exuded a dreadful energy. Every ancient god is so powerful. The Devil Saint God duo were rather stunned. Besides Zhao Wang and the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon, the little thieving cat was even more mysterious and unfathomable. Its techniques were profound and unstoppable. Leave the Heaven's Legacy cat to me. The two of you deal with that brat. Ancient God Nether Spring immediately called out. Although he hated Zhao Feng to the bone, capturing the Heaven's Legacy cat was the most important thing right now. Although the Devil Saint God duo were powerful, they had too few tricks up their sleeves to deal with the Heaven's Legacy cat. Brat, obediently accept your death. The Devil Saint God duo found their target and immediately attacked together. But Zhao Feng completely ignored them. Swish, swish. He combined the metal lightning radiance wings with spatial flash, allowing him to move at a speed close to the little thieving cat's ghostly appearance. After rapidly flying away, Zhao Feng charged at a rank 7 ancient god. 9 Lightning Soul Refinement. Zhao Feng activated the 9 Lightning Soul Refining Mirror, and in less than 2 seconds he had devoured the enemy's soul. This was the Heavenly Demon Hall. The longer this battle dragged on, the more people would arrive. Thus, Zhao Feng's strategy was to pick out the soft persimmons and kill them first. Damn, this brat has the space-time robe. We can't catch up to him. The Devil Saint God duo grimaced and tried to find an excuse. At this moment, Zhao Feng was already closing in on another person. Hurry and stop him. The Devil Saint God duo called out in alarm. But no one could stop Zhao Feng. By the time the Devil Saint God duo arrived, another member had died to Zhao Feng. Okay. Ancient God Luo Ling happily called out from her battle with the Thunderflame Ancient Dragon. Their side was originally on the back foot, but now, the tables were turning. On the other side, Ancient God Nether Spring, who was chasing the Heaven's Legacy cat, also found the situation extremely troublesome. This won't do if this continues. Ancient God Nether Spring's expression darkened. He hadn't expected for Ancient God Luo Ling to break into rank 9, and Zhao Feng also had a Death God Eye descendant helping him. Now that the two sides were fighting, Zhao Feng was relying on his unparalleled speed to kill the weak. If this continued, the Heavenly Demon Hall's advantage would gradually disappear, and they would eventually be on the back foot. Master! The Devil Saint God duo had unsightly expressions on their faces. They were two peak rank 8s, but because their speed was inferior to Zhao Feng's, they were the ones being played around by Zhao Feng. Moreover, Zhao Feng had a rank 9 combatant on his side. Even a special space sealing array would be broken. Don't worry. I have a plan. Ancient God Nether Spring messaged. Although the Heavenly Demon Hall was a peak 4-star faction, its upper echelon members were completely comparable to 5-star factions. It was definitely a hegemon amongst peak 4-star factions. In addition, there was one other thing that the Heavenly Demon Hall relied on the most. It was the God Eye Fusion art. However, the God Eye Fusion art required time and could not be interrupted midway. Ancient God Nether Spring had long ago noticed Zhao Feng's powerful senses. Thus, this matter had to be carried out in secret and could not be discovered by Zhao Feng. The Heavenly Demon Hall had many members, so gathering 8 God Eye descendants was no problem. When the time came, that mysterious energy that ruled over all would be enough to instantly kill Zhao Feng, Ancient God Luo Ling, and the others. One had to realize that the God Eye Fusion art used by Ancient God Profound Devil's group of 5 could even temporarily trap a rank 9 Ancient God. If 8 God Eye descendants used this art together, the power would be unimaginable. With this thought in mind, Ancient God Nether Spring began to secretly plan. The little thieving cat's eyes suddenly spun and it threw out several bronze coins. Meow. The little thieving cat immediately looked at Zhao Feng and gestured a few times. Take that silver pill? Zhao Feng was taken aback, but a moment later, he understood what the little thieving cat meant. In the Western Treasury, Zhao Feng had obtained 3 items in total. The first was the Destruction Dragon Race Reverse Scale, the second was the Heavenly God Liquid, and the third was an exquisite pill covered in silver runes. The little thieving cat had never explained the effects of this pill. But now, the little thieving cat had to have Zhao Feng take it for a reason. It wouldn't try to trick its master at this crucial moment. Swish! Zhao Feng took out a silver-runed pill from his interspatial dimension. This pill didn't have any unique aura or light, but at a glance, one could feel that it was extraordinary and had a mysterious and unfathomable feeling. Chapter 1346. Divine Ancient Pill. Ancient God Nether Spring's eyes dimmed. He was well aware of what was missing from the treasury. That's the Divine Ancient Pill. Some members of the Heavenly Demon Hall didn't recognize the Divine Ancient Pill, but the few ancient gods who did were all surprised and confused. I heard that this pill is targeted at the descendants of the 8 great God Eyes. Taking it can cause the bloodline to revert to its ancestral form, and it can even awaken the memories in the bloodline. A rank 8 ancient god stared at the pill in Zhao Feng's hand and whispered. The reason bloodlines could be passed down was because the bloodline ancestor, once their cultivation reached a heaven-defying level, would use special methods to allow their bloodline power to be passed down. The bloodline could not only give its wielder strength, amplification, and other abilities, but it also contained the bloodline memories of the great ancestor. There were quite a few such stories in the ancient desolate realm of gods. Some expert would suddenly awaken their bloodline memories and obtain a divine ability that allowed them to become invincible in the same cultivation level. This was also why all the experts in the ancient desolate realm of gods were constantly trying to improve their bloodlines so that they could revert to their ancestral forms. However, everything depended on luck and fortune. There were quite a few peak experts in the ancient desolate realm of gods whose bloodlines had already reverted to their ancestral forms, but they still had not awakened their bloodline memories. The Divine Ancient Pill was a pill developed by the Heavenly Demon Hall that could increase the rate at which the eye bloodline could revert to its ancestral form and awaken a deeper level of power in the bloodline. It sounded like the Divine Ancient Pill had rather absurd effects and could be considered a supreme treasure. In reality, this was not the case. The divine ancient pill was extremely expensive to manufacture, and the people who had taken it so far did not have any obvious effects on their bloodline ancestral forms, much less awaken their bloodline memories. For this reason, the price-to-performance ratio of this pill was extremely low. The Heavenly Demon Hall naturally couldn't spend so much money to develop it, so they only kept one. This pill doesn't seem to be very precious. Zhao Feng quietly said to himself. If this pill was truly priceless, the members of the Heavenly Demon Hall would not have had this expression when he took it out. But Zhao Feng didn't care and just took it. What use is he taking the divine ancient pill at a time like this? He might have mistaken the divine ancient pill for some other pill that increases fighting power. After all, this pill was developed by the Heavenly Demon Hall. No one in the outside world knows about it. The members who knew about the divine ancient pill mocked with smiles on their faces. Although I don't know why you're taking the divine ancient pill at a time like this, I can tell you that even top-class descendants of the 8 great god-eyes wouldn't have much of an effect on this pill, much less someone who isn't even a descendant of the 8 great god-eyes. Ancient God Nether Spring sneered. He had already determined that the divine ancient pill would have no effect on Zhao Feng. So it's this type of pill? Zhao Feng could roughly guess the purpose of the pill from the words of the others. If his god spiritual eye was the 9th god eye, it should be the same as the 8 great god eyes. This meant that the pill's effect on Zhao Feng's eye bloodline wouldn't decrease. However, from the looks on the faces of the Heavenly Demon Hall members, this pill didn't seem very attractive to the descendants of the 8 great god eyes. But at this moment, Zhao Feng sensed a weak ripple coming from the dreamy silver ball in his god eye dimension. Normally, Zhao Feng would seal his origin energy. However, at this moment, the origin energy within the dreamy silver ball suddenly reacted. Bzz. The ripple grew stronger and stronger, as if it was about to break through the seal. Since that's the case, I'll just undo it. Zhao Feng immediately erased the seal on the dreamy silver ball. A moment later, the dreamy silver ball began to exude a dazzling radiance. Bzz. An indistinct God-Eye energy was immediately sensed by all the God-Eye descendants around him. God-Eye energy. How could this be? All the members of the Heavenly Demon Hall, including ancient god Luo Ling and Zhao Wang, were stunned and couldn't help but look at Zhao Feng. This God-Eye energy wasn't very strong, but it was very real. Could his eye have always been a God-Eye? After taking the divine ancient pill, he completely awakened into a God-Eye? One of the more experienced rank 8 ancient gods speculated in shock. Even he didn't dare to believe his own conjecture. That's impossible. This kid must have had some sort of fortuitous encounter that allowed him to be stained by the energy of the 8 great god eyes. When he took the divine ancient pill, he intentionally released this energy to mislead us. Ancient god Nether Spring immediately called out. The true god eye was the faith of all god eye descendants, their very first ancestor. Ordinary god eye descendants only had respect for true god eyes. He could not allow the god eye energy exuded by Zhao Feng to affect the morale of the Heavenly Demon Hall members. Moreover, he didn't believe at all that Zhao Feng had a god eye. In addition, the god eye fusion art was ready, and victory was about to be his. That must be the case. That kid must have had some sort of fortuitous encounter. No wonder he's not a descendant of the 8 great god eyes, but his eye bloodline techniques are so formidable. He must have obtained a treasure or legacy related to a god eye. Although ancient god Nether Spring's words were just conjectures, they were extremely convincing. After all, Zhao Feng's eye was a god eye. This was far too absurd and unbelievable. But Zhao Feng didn't care about any of this. The moment the seal was undone, the dreamy divine light exuded by the dreamy ball of light seemed to change something about him. He suddenly felt like his mind had become clear, his mind as calm as still water. His thoughts became extremely quick, and the god's spiritual eye's most basic vision abilities were also greatly strengthened. For example, his see-through ability allowed him to see through more objects, and his long-range vision allowed him to see even further. What's going on here? Zhao Feng was stunned. Was this the effect of the divine ancient pill? He was confident that if he stopped fighting and entered seclusion, he would be able to make significant progress. Upon receiving Ancient God Netherspring's order, the Devil Saint God duo charged at Zhao Feng. Although Zhao Feng took a long time to react, his reaction speed was even faster than normal. Swish! Zhao Feng immediately blinked away, putting some distance between him and the Devil Saint God duo. Since I can't comprehend it in peace, I'll comprehend it in battle. Zhao Feng's eyes flashed as he charged at a rank 7 Ancient God. At the same time, his left eye exploded with astonishing eye intent. Forbidden Illusion Lost World. Wind Lightning Eye Flame. Zhao Feng's two eye bloodline techniques were unleashed seamlessly, and even Zhao Feng was alarmed by the speed at which they were used. Kakrek. The rank 7 Ancient God had a dazed expression as he was struck by a ball of soul lightning flame. As he struggled and screamed, the rank 7 Ancient God was slain. With the origin seal undone, Zhao Feng's God Eye was much more powerful. How could an ordinary rank 7 Ancient God stop it? So strange. After killing this person, Zhao Feng paused for a moment. The sensation of using eye bloodline techniques just now was extremely strange. Those two eye bloodline techniques were unleashed so quickly that Zhao Feng felt like it was all unreal. It was like the eye bloodline techniques were unleashed the moment he thought of using them. Perhaps these two eye bloodline techniques are rather low level. This was the only thing Zhao Feng could think of. The eye bloodline techniques were too low level, and Zhao Feng was extremely familiar with them, so he was able to unleash them at a much higher speed. Besides this, he had gained an even deeper understanding of these eye bloodline techniques after unleashing them just now. The Wind Lightning Eye Flame was a low-level eye bloodline technique. It was almost perfect, and there was no way to improve its technique. The Forbidden Illusion Lost World was also rather low-level, but there was still room for improvement. He could fuse Demonic Eye Invasion, Mind Assault, and other illusion techniques onto this foundation to increase the power of the Forbidden Illusion Lost World. With this thought in mind, Zhao Feng split off a part of his mind and began to improve the Forbidden Illusion Lost World. Evil Demon / Holy Light Fairy Spirit Sword. As Zhao Feng was thinking, the Devil Saint God duo launched a sneak attack. The image of a massive sword and saber, one black and one white, swept toward Zhao Feng with a destructive momentum. I'll play with you for a bit. Zhao Feng stared forward, his eyes surging with chaotic and vigorous energy. In a flash, the image of a dark star appeared around Zhao Feng, exuding an immense pressure. Kakrek. A moment later, a chaotic ball of dark light collided with the Devil Saint God duo's attack. Boom! Bang! The two fiercely clashed, and after a few moments, they were turned to dust. How could this be? This brat's eye bloodline technique is actually on par with our combined attack? The Devil Saint God duo were flabbergasted. Zhao Feng had been dodging the entire time and hadn't clashed with them, but now that they clashed, they were once more severely injured. It seems like I was mistaken just now. Zhao Feng ignored the Devil Saint God duo and muttered to himself. This time, his eye bloodline technique wasn't instantaneous. But even though he had confirmed that what he saw just now might have been a mistake, Zhao Feng still felt uncertain. Within the God Eye dimension, the dreamy silver ball slightly spun, exuding a dreamy and dazzling light that seemed to contain all the colors of the world. Not even Zhao Feng noticed that his soul was being constantly transformed by this light. Damn! His eye bloodline technique is too powerful. Isn't he afraid that his bloodline won't be able to endure using his eye bloodline like this? A few low-level ancient gods retreated in fear, not daring to approach Zhao Feng. Your Excellency, is it still not done? An ancient god who knew of Ancient God Netherspring's plan messaged. If this continued, the other ancient gods would all be killed, and Ancient God Netherspring wouldn't be able to fight back against Zhao Feng's group. Not good. Zhao Feng's left eye suddenly sensed something, and he immediately looked into the distance. After many layers of see-through ability, Zhao Feng finally saw 8 people concealed within a domain. The people? God Eye Fusion Art. Zhao Feng grimaced. He had always been on guard against this move. The moment his opponent was about to use it, he would immediately interrupt it. But Ancient God Netherspring had been secretly scheming and had avoided Zhao Feng's detection range. Now that his opponent had begun to use the God Eye fusion art, he had to stop him. Swish. The moment he noticed this, Zhao Feng blinked forward. Hurry and stop him. Ancient God Nether's spring bellowed. He hadn't expected for Zhao Feng to notice it ahead of time, but there shouldn't be any problems. However, there shouldn't be any problems. By the time Zhao Feng realized it, the 8 people had already begun. As expected, Zhao Feng had no way of stopping them. But there was always an exception, and Ancient God Nether's spring didn't want to gamble on this. The fastest of the Heavenly Demon Hall members, the Thunderflame Ancient Dragon, cast aside Ancient God Luo Ling and transformed into a bolt of lightning in pursuit. Within the concealment array, the origin energies of the 8 God Eye descendants floated in the air. The 8 God Eye descendants began to form spells in unison, controlling their origin energy to fuse with their other energies. Chapter 1347. When the 8 of them controlled their origin energies and fused them together, the astonishing energy was no longer something that the concealment array could conceal. God Eye Fusion Art. So Elder Nether's spring already had a brilliant plan. Some of the Heavenly Demon Hall members who were unaware immediately became excited. Everyone was well aware of the power of the God Eye Fusion Art. Once the 8 of them succeeded in condensing this new energy, these intruders would all die without a grave. But this secret art had a major flaw. It could not be interrupted while it was being used. But now, the momentum was already set. Even if Zhao Feng rushed over, he wouldn't be able to stop the 8 of them. He would just be sending himself to his death. It's over. Ancient God Luo Ling was alarmed. This was the first time she had felt such danger since breaking into rank 9. She had also seen this secret art before and was deeply fearful of it. Once this secret art succeeded, it could almost decide the outcome of the battle. Ancient God Luo Ling was in a dilemma. If she fled now, there was still time, but Zhao Feng was doomed. If she charged over to stop the Thunderflame Ancient Dragon and by time for Zhao Feng, she would probably die if she failed. Ancient God Luo Ling hesitated for only a few moments before charging forward. Ancient God Luo Ling's body flickered in and out of existence, seemingly fused with the air as she pursued the Thunderflame Ancient Dragon. Void Spirit Slash. Ancient God Luo Ling continued to close the distance with the Thunderflame Ancient Dragon. She swung the silver scimitar in her hand, unleashing a crescent of energy. But as a samsara immortal body, the Thunderflame Ancient Dragon completely ignored this and focused on pursuing Zhao Feng. Swish. Zhao Feng flew at the very front, his body blinking back and forth, but the Thunderflame Ancient Dragon was right behind him. If Zhao Feng paused for even a moment, the Thunderflame Ancient Dragon would catch up. Thus, Zhao Feng had no chance to use instant movement. As the origin energies released by the 8 gradually fused together, Zhao Feng pushed his left eye to its limits and attempted to use an eye bloodline technique. All he needed to do was heavily injure a few of them and interrupt the secret art. Of the 8 God Eye descendants, only 2 were rank 8 ancient gods. The rest were around rank 7. Although Zhao Feng could sense that there was a peak rank 8 ancient god guarding the 8, his eye bloodline technique was instantaneous, so he was confident that this person would find it very difficult to react. However, as he was about to execute his eye technique, Zhao Feng realized that his eye technique could not lock onto the 8 people. We're well aware of your eye technique. There's not only a concealment formation here, there's also a spatial disruption formation. One of the 8 space-time God Eye descendants noticed that Zhao Feng had used an eye bloodline technique but hadn't used it, and he loudly laughed. Oh no, how did this happen? Ancient God Luo Ling had a grim expression. Hee hee. Many of the Heavenly Demon Hall members gave smiles of confidence. Ancient God Nether Spring was particularly proud of his plan. I see. Zhao Feng's face darkened. He had to admit that Ancient God Nether Spring's plan was extremely thorough, taking into account all the factors involved. Even if Zhao Feng launched a long-range attack, the peak rank 8 Ancient God next to the 8 would still have many ways to block it. Is there no other way? Zhao Feng was extremely unwilling. Once their secret art was successfully used, Zhao Feng would have to rely on the power of the blood flame Qilin race to resolve the crisis. He still didn't know just how terrifying the energy produced by the fusion of these 8 god eyes would be. Perhaps he would need the entire blood flame Qilin race to resolve the crisis. As Zhao Feng was thinking, the dreamy silver ball in his god eye dimension began to spin faster, unleashing even more dazzling and dreamy origin energy. No, there should be another way. Zhao Feng's eyes focused as he stared at the origin energies that were about to fuse together above the heads of the 8. My God's spiritual eyes' origin energy can counter their energy. Perhaps I can find a way to break through. Zhao Feng clearly remembered the first time he used the God Eye fusion art. At the time, Sacred King Samsara was controlling that mysterious energy, but with the appearance of the God's spiritual eyes' origin energy, Zhao Feng became the controller and the leader. The second time he used the God Eye fusion art was in the ruins of the Heaven's Legacy race. At the time, Zhao Feng had fused his origin energy into his eye bloodline technique, dealing a destructive blow to the energy produced by the God Eye fusion art. In the end, they suffered grievous losses. If there was a way to counter the God Eye fusion art, it was the power of the God's spiritual eye. Let's do it. A hint of madness and excitement appeared on Zhao Feng's face. A moment later, all the origin energy in the God Eye dimension was gathered in his left eye. In a flash, Zhao Feng's left eye exploded with a dazzling light that seemed to reflect all the colors of the world. God Eye energy. In a flash, all the God Eye descendants could once more clearly sense the God Eye energy on Zhao Feng's body. But at this moment, they were all sure that Zhao Feng had come into contact with a God Eye or obtained a treasure related to a God Eye. What's he doing? The Thunderflame ancient dragon following closely behind Zhao Feng instantly revealed a look of shock. It was the closest to Zhao Feng, and the myriad colors radiating from the 5-colored mist made its heart inexplicably tremble and give rise to a feeling of helplessness. Earth-shaking nova. Zhao Feng gathered all his origin energy and used a powerful eye bloodline technique. The earth-shaking nova was a technique that gathered all kinds of energy together and used the chaotic and contradictory collisions to instantly produce a powerful explosive force. But at this moment, the earth-shaking nova only contained the origin energy of Zhao Feng's God's spiritual eye. Boom! A dreamy ball of starlight suddenly appeared around Zhao Feng's body, and in a flash, it shot toward the 8 people using the God Eye fusion art. At the same time, the peak rank 8 ancient god next to the 8 stepped forward. His mission was to use every method at his disposal to protect the 8 people using the secret art. What sort of attack is this? The 8 of them, who were executing their secret techniques, looked at the rapidly approaching dreamy star from a distance. They had a feeling that they couldn't resist it. At this moment, one of the 8 shouted, "Not good. The fusion is becoming unstable." At the same time, the others also noticed this. The origin energies that were on the verge of fusing together to produce a new energy suddenly began to throb. For some reason, they suddenly found it difficult to control their own origin energies. Put more effort. We have to fuse them. The strongest rank 8 ancient god of the 8 immediately called out. Only people who were not skilled in this secret art would experience this sort of situation. They had all been handpicked by ancient god Netherspring and were extremely familiar with the God Eye fusion art. How could something like this happen? If they failed, what face would they have left to face the upper echelon of the heavenly demon hall? The 8 of them did their best to control and fuse their origin energies. But they discovered that the conflict was getting more intense and difficult to control. How could this be? A God Eye descendant said in fear. Could it be that dreamy star? Someone called out in alarm. The closer the dreamy star Zhao Feng released got, the harder it was for them to control their origin energies, and the harder it was to fuse them. How could this be? The strongest rank 8 expert had a look of disbelief on his face. There was no way to break the God Eye fusion art, and the energy produced by the secret art had never encountered a nemesis. But now, something strange had occurred. Boom! The dreamy star smashed down. The peak rank 8 ancient god immediately burned his divine power and activated his defensive divine artifacts and other defensive techniques. At this moment, the 8 God Eye descendants in the back cried out in alarm. Not good. I lost control. I can't control it. The 8 God Eye descendants grimaced. When Zhao Feng's eye bloodline technique descended, their origin energies actually broke free of their control. This was equivalent to being attacked while using the God Eye fusion art and having it interrupted. Boom. The source energy that had gone out of control erupted, creating a wave of destructive energy. The peak rank 8 ancient god who was preparing to fend off the dreamy star never would have imagined that something like this would happen behind him. Run! The peak rank 8 threw caution to the wind and fled. As for the 8 God Eye descendants, the moment their God Eye fusion art failed, they also fled. Boom, bang, crash. The dreamy star and the 8 origin energies collided. To everyone's surprise, the 8 source powers disappeared in an instant. Like a flame meeting ice water, the arrogant flame disappeared without a trace in an instant. After destroying the origin energies, the dreamy star exploded, unleashing a terrifying storm of energy that obliterated everything in its path. After the storm passed, an incomparably huge empty hole appeared there, and there was nothing in it. The 8 God Eye descendants, including the peak rank 8, had been obliterated. Success! Zhao Feng was dazed for a few moments, and then he smiled in elation. He also hadn't expected that using so much origin energy at once would throw the God Eye fusion art into chaos and cause it to ultimately go out of control. Didn't this mean that he had become the bane of the God Eye fusion art? As long as the Heavenly Demon Hall used this secret art, Zhao Feng could instantly cause the secret art to go out of control, creating a chaotic explosion that could even kill the user. Other than Zhao Feng, all the members of the Heavenly Demon Hall were instantly petrified, the shock on their faces seemingly impossible to fade. A few moments later, the crowd was in an uproar. The God Eye fusion art was suddenly interrupted, and both the user and the protector were killed. This was a result that no one had expected. How could this be? Why did the God Eye fusion art that was on the verge of success suddenly end up like this? Ancient God Nether's Spring furiously roared. All of this was far too incomprehensible. Just as they were about to achieve complete victory, such a sudden change occurred. It was as if a cooked duck had flown away. What other skills do you have? Just take them out. Zhao Feng suddenly turned around and placed his hands behind his back in a proud posture. He had completely destroyed the trump card that the Heavenly Demon Hall had carefully prepared. The Heavenly Demon Hall's morale had plummeted, and in terms of fighting power, they were no match for Zhao Feng's side. Damn! Just how did you destroy the God Eye fusion art? Ancient God Nether's Spring stared in fear at Zhao Feng. Chapter 1348. Outside the Heavenly Demon Hall, above the Arctic Abyss, the upper echelon members of the space-time Sacred Land and the Heavenly Demon Hall were locked in a standoff. What was that just now? The gray-scaled elder's pitch-black eyes flashed as he glanced at the Heavenly Demon Hall deep underground. In that instant just now, a power that even he could not fathom had suddenly spread out from the Heavenly Demon Hall. He even wondered if this was a trump card the space-time Sacred Land had prepared. What happened? Ancient God Scarlet Firmament's expression darkened. That unknown energy just now had caused even his eye of space-time to tremble. He didn't know the specifics, but he could speculate that Ancient God Luo Ling had not used that unknown energy. For this reason, Ancient God Scarlet Firmament was rather worried about Ancient God Luo Ling's safety. Within the Heavenly Demon Hall, Ancient God Nether's Spring glared at Zhao Feng, his heart seething with indescribable hatred and rage. This intruder had left the Heavenly Demon Hall in shambles and completely overturned all of Ancient God Nether Spring's plans. He had lost to Zhao Feng. After destroying the God Eye fusion art, Zhao Feng had been secretly observing the God's spiritual eye. Just now, he had poured out a large amount of origin energy. The origin energy in the dreamy silver ball had somewhat stabilized and was no longer as violently fluctuating as before. Based on his observations, it wouldn't be long before the dreamy silver ball returned to normal. However, Zhao Feng sensed that the God's spiritual eye's abnormality after taking the divine ancient pill had changed him in some other way, though he hadn't noticed it yet. Kill! Zhao Feng stopped thinking about it. It was better to settle the matter in front of him first. A moment later, Ancient God Luo Ling, the black destruction serpent dragon, Zhao Wang, and the little thieving cat all attacked. They followed Zhao Feng's orders and first killed the weak. Swish. Zhao Feng blinked toward a rank 8 ancient god, the 9 lightning soul refining mirror in his hand exploding with lightning. In a flash, 7 lightning chains shot forward and imprisoned the ancient god's soul. Death corrosion. This rank 8 ancient god was a death god eye descendant, so he immediately used a death eye bloodline technique to block the power of the 9 lightning soul refining mirror. But Zhao Feng would never give him the chance. Tribulation lightning eye flame. The tribulation lightning eye flame instantly formed and was activated. At this moment, Zhao Feng didn't seal his origin energy, so the power of his tribulation lightning eye flame was much stronger than normal. Boom! In a flash, the rank 8 ancient god's soul was engulfed in lightning. If Zhao Feng hadn't used the 9 lightning soul refining mirror to reduce the power of this tribulation lightning eye bloodline technique, that rank 8 ancient god would have been instantly killed by Zhao Feng. Buzz buzz buzz. As the lightning chains dragged, the other party's soul was absorbed by the 9 lightning soul refining mirror. On the other side, ancient god Luo Ling's speed far surpassed that of the Thunderflame ancient dragon. While she fought with it, she still had a chance to attack the other low-level ancient gods. The little thieving cat was even more elusive, with so many techniques that not even ancient god Nether Spring could defend against it. In less than a moment, the heavenly demon hall's side suffered heavy casualties, with only a few people left. This was especially so for those who were not strong. They looked flustered and kept their guard up. Gather together! Ancient god Nether Spring ordered. In a head-on battle, none of them were a match for Zhao Feng's group, and Zhao Feng's group was still using the strategy of killing the weak first. In addition, the God Eye fusion art could no longer be used. Everyone saw just now that the 8 people who had used the God Eye fusion art had lost control of the secret art and were more than dead. Bush. The rest of the members gathered around ancient god Nether Spring. Damn! The Devil Saint God duo angrily and unwillingly called out. Ever since they became ancient god Nether Spring's samsara immortal bodies, they had never suffered such humiliation. The remaining members of the Heavenly Demon Hall were also extremely furious. Retreat to the core area. Ancient god Nether Spring led the remaining members in retreat. The core area was an important area of the Heavenly Demon Hall, and it was filled with many traps. The core area was surrounded by forbidden mechanical weapons that could kill rank 9 ancient gods. As long as they could return to the secret hall, they would basically be safe. You're gathering together so that I can kill them more easily? Zhao Feng coldly laughed. His tribulation lightning eye flame could be activated the moment it locked onto a target and had no trajectory. It was even more inconvenient for these people to move together. This meant that it was easier for Zhao Feng to lock onto them. Tribulation lightning eye flame. Zhao Feng locked onto a random person and unleashed his tribulation lightning eye bloodline technique. Kakrek. Caught off guard, an ancient god in ancient god Nether Spring's team was slain. This sight caused the other ancient gods to tremble in fear. Void Spirit Slash. Ancient god Luo Ling's cold face was tinged with excitement. She had been hiding all this time to avoid pursuit, but now, she had a chance to hunt down the members of the Heavenly Demon Hall. Ancient god Luo Ling's attacks were also extremely powerful. Only ancient god Nether Spring and the Thunderflame ancient dragon could stop them, the others could only watch. This place was rather far from the core area's secret hall. Not even halfway there, all the other members of the Heavenly Demon Hall had been killed, leaving only the Thunderflame ancient dragon, the Devil Saint God duo, and ancient god Nether Spring. One could also say that ancient god Nether Spring was the only one left, as the other 3 were his samsara immortal bodies. However, Zhao Feng, ancient god Luo Ling, and the others had also expended enormous amounts of energy. Zhao Feng had been using his origin energy this entire time, and his eye intent was also almost completely exhausted from using eye bloodline techniques. Ancient god Luo Ling had only just broken into rank 9. And her reserves had not been consolidated. She was far inferior to the Thunderflame ancient dragon and ancient god Nether Spring. When it's possible to forgive, one should forgive. Besides, you've obtained so many benefits from the Heavenly Demon Hall. Ancient God Nether Spring resentfully stared at Zhao Feng. Although Ancient God Luo Ling had the highest cultivation of the two intruders, Zhao Feng was the most terrifying existence and the main culprit behind his current state. I obtained them with my own strength. Zhao Feng's expression remained unchanged. In the ancient desolate realm of gods, strength was everything. The weak had no right to speak. If Zhao Feng didn't have his current strength and was surrounded by the heavenly demon hall, would they have let Zhao Feng go? Thus, Zhao Feng's desire to kill these people would not change. I'll kill you two first. Zhao Feng suddenly turned his eyes to the Devil Saint God duo. 9 Lightning Soul Refinement. 7 chains of lightning suddenly shot out of the 9 Lightning Soul Refining Mirror. Don't! The Devil Saint God duo cried out in shock. The 9 Lightning Soul Refining Mirror was a divine artifact that countered samsara immortal bodies. Once their souls were extracted, they would truly be finished. Stop! Ancient God Nether Spring and the Thunderflame Ancient Dragon both attacked. Although the Devil Saint God duo were only peak rank 8s, when working together, they had the strength to contend against a rank 9. They could be considered powerful fighting forces in Ancient God Nether Spring's hands. Celestial Wind Void Spirit / Ancient God Luo Ling immediately attacked, unleashing a silver-white blade of energy that engulfed the Thunderflame Ancient Dragon. The little thieving cat, on the other hand, activated its silver blade and unleashed a sealing energy to stop Ancient God Nether Spring. Swish! 7 chains of lightning bound the Devil Saint God duo together. At the same time, Zhao Feng aimed a Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame at the pair. The Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame contained origin energy and possessed terrifying power. Even though the two of them were working together, they found it very difficult to resist. Collect! Zhao Feng put all his strength into the 9 Lightning Soul Refining Mirror to drag away the weakened souls of the Devil Saint God duo. After doing all this, Zhao Feng's eye intent was almost completely depleted. On the other side, only the Thunderflame Ancient Dragon and Ancient God Nether Spring were left. Both of them were rank 9 ancient gods and samsara immortal bodies, making them rather difficult to kill. But even if he couldn't kill them, he couldn't let them have it easy. Zhao Feng's group continued to pursue Ancient God Nether Spring and the Thunderflame Ancient Dragon, heedlessly unleashing powerful attacks. Although they had samsara immortal bodies, they still felt the pain of their bodies being torn apart. The attacks of Zhao Feng's group tore apart their bodies again and again, causing screams to echo through the air. Above the Arctic abyss, the battle between Ancient God Scarlet Firmament and the Gray-Scaled Elder was intensifying. At a certain moment, the Gray-Scaled Elder received a message from Ancient God Nether Spring. In a flash, his face contorted in shock and rage. Black clouds surged and roared, a clear indication of his intense emotional upheaval. To think that it would end up like this. The Gray-Scaled Elder's cold and sinister voice drifted through the air. The Heaven's Legacy Cat had escaped, the treasury had been plundered, and the Heavenly Demon Hall was in shambles. And Ancient God Nether Spring still had no way of dealing with those two intruders. Based on what Ancient God Nether Spring had said, the Gray-Scaled Elder naturally took the intruders to be members of the space-time sacred land. Ancient God Scarlet Firmament's expression flickered. His opponent was suddenly behaving strangely, as if he wasn't happy. From the Gray-Scaled Elder's rage, Ancient God Scarlet Firmament could deduce that Ancient God Luo Ling was probably fine. Don't think that just because you're from the space-time sacred land that you can do whatever you want. The Gray-Scaled Elder coldly said. Ancient God Nether Spring's explanation had infuriated him. But the final result would not change. It's you who's doing whatever you want. Ancient God Scarlet Firmament was also infuriated. I truly did underestimate you. I didn't think that the space-time sacred land would have such a person. The Gray-Scaled Elder gave a sinister smile. The person he was referring to was naturally Zhao Feng. Ancient God Scarlet Firmament revealed a strange expression. In his view, the Heavenly Demon Hall still had experts presiding over it, so Ancient God Luo Ling's operation would not go very smoothly. But from the Gray-Scaled Elder's words, it seemed like the Heavenly Demon Hall had suffered a major loss. But everything is over. All of you will be buried here. The gray-scaled elder continued. After saying this, the gray-scaled elder rapidly retreated, putting some distance between him and Ancient God Scarlet Firmament. What do you mean? Ancient God Scarlet Firmament's eyes turned as he felt an ill foreboding. Suddenly he sensed a life-or-death crisis. He turned around and looked behind him. In the distant sky was a pitch-black expanse of death energy, devoid of any life. And in the middle of these endless black clouds was an unremarkable figure. The moment he saw this person, Ancient God Scarlet Firmament's soul trembled in fear. Swish! A moment later, this unremarkable black figure appeared in the Arctic abyss, in the middle of the battlefield between the upper echelon members of the two factions. At the same time, everyone present felt the world shake as an irresistible divine might engulfed the world. In a flash, all of them vomited blood, their souls trembling uncontrollably. The world was pitch black, and all they could see was a boundless black fog. Everyone felt like they had arrived in another world where their lives were no longer in their control. God Lord! Ancient God Scarlet Firmament's face was pale as he stared in fear at the black figure in the center of this pitch-black world. Chapter 1349. Within the Heavenly Demon Hall, Zhao Feng, Ancient God Netherspring, and the others in pursuit suddenly trembled. All of them felt like a dreadful energy was hanging over their heads. What's going on? This majestic energy is coming from outside. Ancient God Luo Ling paled as she blurted out in shock. Just this majestic energy was able to seep into the defensive array from outside and into the Heavenly Demon Hall, striking fear into everyone's hearts. It was hard to imagine just how terrifying the expert exuding this energy was. This energy, all of you are finished. The fleeing Ancient God Netherspring suddenly stopped and then began to madly laugh. A power that could make even a rank 9 Ancient God like him feel such fear, and that death energy and reaction meant that Ancient God Netherspring was sure that a God Lord expert had arrived at the Heavenly Demon Hall. When the Heaven's Legacy Cat was captured, the Heavenly Demon Hall had sent a message. The matter of the Heaven's Legacy Cat was extremely important, so the higher-ups had sent a God Lord to personally come. Of course, this God Lord would also take away all the treasures and research results accumulated by the Heavenly Demon Hall. What's going on? Zhao Feng felt uneasy, but he had expended too much of his eye intent at this moment. It was simply impossible for him to see through the Heavenly Demon Hall and the Arctic abyss tens of thousands of feet long. The Lord God Lord has descended. Do you think you troublemakers will be able to survive? Ancient God Netherspring spoke without any hesitation. He wanted to see the fear on the faces of Zhao Feng's group. God Lord! Ancient God Luo Ling's heart trembled as she sensed that the situation was bad. The strongest member of their team this time was Ancient God Scarlet Firmament. However, they were members of the space-time sacred land, so this God Lord probably wouldn't make things difficult for them. The God Lord is here! Zhao Feng's body trembled. On the surface, the leaders of the ancient desolate realm of gods were usually ancient gods. God Lords were supreme experts that were rarely seen in tens of thousands of years, perhaps even hundreds of thousands of years. It was rumored that a God Lord's rage could destroy the world. Even the calm Zhao Feng began to panic at this moment. He was not like ancient God Luo Ling, who had the protection of the space-time sacred land. Behind him was the spirit race, and their deterrence was far inferior to that of a divine realm holy land. Moreover, Zhao Feng had destroyed the Heavenly Demon Hall to such an extent and had killed countless members. That God Lord had no reason to let him go. At this moment, even if Zhao Feng used all his trump cards, he wouldn't be able to hurt the Divine Master at all. In fact, if some of his secrets were exposed, he might even be targeted by the Divine Master. The only way to survive was to pretend to be a member of the space-time sacred land and have ancient God Luo Ling help him. But if Zhao Feng left and ran into the people of the space-time sacred land, he might be exposed. Zhao Feng took out several soul-nourishing ingredients and consumed them to recover his energy. At the same time, he put away the space-time robe and sealed his origin energy. God Lord! The flames on the black destruction serpent dragon's body instantly disappeared, and it turned into a black-scaled male with an expression of fear. His master was Zhao Feng, and if even Zhao Feng found it difficult to self-detonate, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon would be in even more danger. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon was extremely unwilling to accept this. Its cultivation was now far above its previous level, and it had even obtained the reverse scale of the Destruction Dragon race. It had a chance of reaching the peak of the ancient god realm, perhaps even becoming a god lord. In the outside world, the world was pitch black, a world of endless darkness and death. Everyone's life and death seemed to be in the hands of another. Everyone trembled as they resisted the enormous pressure and stared at the center of this world of death, at the person who held their fates in his hands. He had a head of white hair, and his withered face exuded a dignified aura. His pitch-black eyes were like black holes of death that devoured all life. "It's a god lord?" Ancient god Scarlet Firmament stared at this person in shock. Only a god lord could possess such power. Moreover, ancient god Scarlet Firmament sensed that this person was no ordinary god lord. The moment this god lord appeared in this world, everything revolved around him. Even if ancient god Scarlet Firmament wanted to use space-time intent to escape, it would be extremely difficult. How could a god lord descend? The other members of the space-time sacred land were stunned by ancient god Scarlet Firmament's words. In this pitch-black world, they sensed that their vitality was constantly being drained away, and this was just the energy that this person was unintentionally exuding. "Lord Heavenly Solitude, I didn't think that you would personally come." The gray-scaled elder respectfully bowed. At the same time, all the members of the Heavenly Demon Hall got down on their knees. This faction truly isn't simple. It even has such a powerful god lord. Ancient god Scarlet Firmament mentally muttered in shock. "You are Scarlet Firmament?" God Lord Heavenly Solitude suddenly turned to ancient god Scarlet Firmament. This casual glance placed immense pressure on ancient god Scarlet Firmament. The surrounding black mist of death began to gather around ancient god Scarlet Firmament, devouring his vitality even faster. Yes. Ancient god Scarlet Firmament circulated all his energy to resist the worldly energy of God Lord Heavenly Solitude as he stared straight at him. They were members of the space-time sacred land, and he was the disciple of the space-time god. Ordinary god lords would not dare to do anything to him. Moreover, this god lord didn't seem to be an expert of a god realm's sacred land. Thus, ancient god Scarlet Firmament was not afraid. He was confident that as long as he gave a sufficient reason, God Lord Heavenly Solitude would not make things difficult for them. God Lord Heavenly Solitude looked at ancient god Scarlet Firmament and faintly smiled. He suddenly extended his palm toward the Heavenly Demon Hall at the bottom of the Arctic abyss. Origin energy that ordinary people could not sense began to exude from God Lord Heavenly Solitude's hand. A moment later, the entire Arctic abyss began to fiercely tremble. At a glance, it seemed like the entire Earth was shaking and on the verge of splitting apart. This is the power of a God Lord. This is practically capable of changing the world. A space-time sacred land ancient god's eyes went wide as he blurted out in shock. Everything beneath their feet was quaking, and the mountains, rivers, and earth were all shattered. What's he doing? Ancient god Scarlet Firmament's expression tightened. He sensed that this god lord was not playing by the rules. Rise! God Lord Heavenly Solitude called out. Rumble! The earth beneath everyone's feet began to crumble apart. A moment later, an enormous black ball of light began to slowly rise into the air. This? Ancient god Scarlet Firmament stared in shock at this ball of light. Within this ball of light was a massive sealed building complex. This was clearly the entire Heavenly Demon Hall. The defensive array around the Heavenly Demon Hall was still active, and the many experts maintaining the array were all at a loss as to what to do. God Lord Heavenly Solitude had taken away the territory of a peak 4-star god. Ancient god Luo Ling. Ancient god Scarlet Firmament suddenly thought of something. God Lord Heavenly Solitude was clearly trying to move the entire Heavenly Demon Hall away, but ancient god Luo Ling was still inside. Lord Heavenly Solitude truly possesses divine strength. the gray-scaled elder said in a trembling voice, his face agitated. This sight was far too impactful. In addition, now that this matter had gotten so big, the heavenly demon hall could no longer exist. He naturally understood God Lord Heavenly Solitude's actions. God Lord Heavenly Solitude nodded in silence. The black ball of light enveloping the entire heavenly demon hall gradually shrank until it was only several hundred feet in size. In comparison, shrinking a dimension wasn't too difficult. The most difficult thing was that taking away such a massive piece of land required an enormous amount of energy. The black ball of light floated to God Lord Heavenly Solitude's side. The ground was now a scene of devastation. Within the heavenly demon hall, what happened just now? Everyone asked in shock. They only sensed that the entire heavenly demon hall was shaking, but they didn't know anything else. Let me see what's going on. Zhao Feng's eye intent had recovered a little, and if he used his see-through ability, he should be able to see what was going on outside. Swish, swish, swish. He pierced through layer after layer. Meanwhile, Zhao Feng's expression warped again and again. In a daze, Zhao Feng didn't know how to express himself. Upon seeing through everything, he realized that the heavenly demon hall was floating in the sky. In the sky was an enormous black-clothed man, as if he was the center of the world. This was a god lord. What sort of ability is this? Zhao Feng sighed in shock. He knew that it wasn't that his opponent had gotten bigger, but that they had gotten smaller. The entire heavenly demon hall had gotten smaller. At this moment, God Lord Heavenly Solitude looked into the heavenly demon hall and coldly laughed. For the heavenly demon hall to be reduced to such a state, you have to pay the corresponding price. God Lord Heavenly Solitude looked at ancient God Scarlet Firmament and coldly said. All the members of the space-time sacred land were stunned by these words. Senior, the cause of this matter was the heavenly demon hall capturing the people of the space-time sacred land. Ancient God Scarlet Firmament was also frightened and hurriedly explained. How many people from the space-time sacred land died? How many members of the heavenly demon hall died? God Lord Heavenly Solitude coldly asked, his expression unchanged. For a time, the members of the space-time sacred land fell silent. That was not the way it worked. Can the people of the heavenly demon hall compare to the people of the space-time sacred land? A rank 9 ancient god finally couldn't hold it in any longer and whispered. He was a top-class rank 9 ancient god that had come with ancient god Scarlet Firmament and was second only to ancient god Scarlet Firmament. God Lord Heavenly Solitude's expression remained unchanged as if he hadn't heard. He looked at ancient god Scarlet Firmament and said, I won't kill you, but they must all die. Ancient god Scarlet Firmament was the space-time god's disciple, so God Lord Heavenly Solitude truly didn't dare to do anything to him. Senior, ancient god Scarlet Firmament grimaced and prepared to say something. Kaboom! Black fog surged through the world, transforming into savage ghost claws that attacked the space-time sacred land member who had just spoken. No, spare me! After a few screams, the black fog scattered, and the rank 9 ancient god was gone. As for God Lord Heavenly Solitude, he seemed to have done nothing at all. The scene instantly fell silent as the fear of death engulfed the minds of the space-time sacred land members. This God Lord actually dared to kill the people of the space-time sacred land on a whim. This sort of behavior would definitely enrage the space-time sacred land. Unless God Lord Heavenly Solitude's faction was on the same level as the space-time sacred land, he would be pursued by the space-time sacred land no matter where he fled to. Within the heavenly demon hall, Zhao Feng was also watching all of this in utter shock. He had always believed that the difference between a god lord and a rank 9 ancient god wasn't very large. Only today did he realize how naive he had been. Only a god lord could be considered a god of the ancient desolate realm of gods. Next, God Lord Heavenly Solitude's voice was like the pronouncement of death. At this moment, everyone except ancient god Scarlet Firmament of the space-time sacred land went stiff, their souls trembling in fear. Die! God Lord Heavenly Solitude's voice resounded, and the black fog of death in the world of darkness surged. But at this moment, God Lord Heavenly Solitude grimaced. This was the first time his expression had changed so much since he had arrived. "Stop!" An ancient and ethereal voice, one that seemed to come from a distant dimension, resounded through the world of darkness. At the same time, a bright light shone down from the sky. The world of darkness slowly began to crumble. Chapter 1350. While moving forward, the gray-scaled old man impatiently took out a communication token. Even so, the space-time ruler's ability to transcend space was still able to descend upon him from such a great distance. There was only one person in the space-time sacred land with this title, the space-time god Eye of the 8 great god Eyes, the progenitor of all eye bloodlines related to space-time intent. Zhao Feng said directly. Before this pair of silver eyes, everyone felt as insignificant as ants. Their bodies trembled and they unconsciously prostrated themselves in worship. "Lord God, please let him go." "Can we go now?" So. All the members of the Heavenly Demon Hall looked at the members of the space-time sacred land in even greater fear. Those massive silver eyes focused on God Lord Heavenly Solitude. Everyone in the Heavenly Demon Hall felt as if a heavy burden had been lifted from their shoulders, and they stood up. But they did not dare to go too far, all because of the existence of the space-time sacred land. The cause of the battle between the two great powers was the Heavenly Demon Hall. "You're a mighty god, Lord. Do you feel no shame attacking an ancient god?" As the disciple of the space-time hegemon, it was his duty to resolve his master's problems. Everyone in the Heavenly Demon Hall looked at the silver sky, their hearts filled with panic. Ancient God Luo Ling didn't think too much and left with Zhao Feng. God Lord Heavenly Solitude was rendered speechless. Many experts of the Heavenly Demon Hall asked in their hearts, "Who?" The gray-scaled old man cried out in alarm. They were thinking that Zhao Feng might be someone that ancient God Luo Ling had brought from the Heavenly Demon Hall. If they took him away, they might be able to obtain some information from him. Then, the entire world of darkness slowly dissipated, as if dark clouds had gathered to welcome the sun after the rain. If the Heavenly Demon Hall had used everything they had at the start, the space-time sacred land would have had no chance of victory, and they might even have suffered grievous casualties. "Master." Ancient God Scarlet Firmament's eyes flashed in pleasant surprise. This was the power of the space-time god, the absolute ruler of space-time. The entire world seemed illusory, giving off an extremely surreal feeling. Earlier, Zhao Feng almost believed that God Lord Heavenly Solitude would kill all the other members of the space-time sacred land. Of course, this included Zhao Feng and ancient God Luo Ling in the Heavenly Demon Hall. The people of the space-time sacred land asked no further questions. But now, Zhao Feng was saying that the space-time sacred land's god power had descended upon this place. The first sentence was to stop the killing, and the second sentence was to end everything. In the ancient desolate realm of gods, the number of people who could be called gods could be counted on one hand. What's that? From this point of view, God Lord Heavenly Solitude's killing of the space-time sacred land's ancient god was completely within reason. "Lord God, are you planning to personally deal with a god lord like me?" The people of the space-time sacred land led Zhao Feng away. They were incomparably shocked. They had never imagined that their movements had been monitored by the Lord Sovereign this entire time. God Lord Heavenly Solitude immediately admitted defeat and offered compensation. However, when they looked at the outside world, they were shocked once again. Ancient God Luo Ling sensed that Zhao Feng seemed to know something. "Ancient God Luo Ling." Ancient God Luo Ling asked. Suddenly, a gap appeared in the gigantic ball of darkness floating beside the tower. Zhao Feng was also watching everything outside. At this moment, God Lord Heavenly Solitude, who was like a supreme god in everyone's eyes, truly stopped and raised his head to the sky. "Ruler, just the space-traversing phantom shadow is already so powerful. But in this matter, the Heavenly Demon Hall was in the wrong first. We are willing to compensate the members of the space-time sacred land who died." The huge silver eyes in the sky turned slightly. To think that such a change would occur. This was the first time they had ever seen the power of a sovereign, and never could they have imagined that they would be fighting an enemy. Since the Lord Hegemon was personally taking action, they wouldn't be in any danger. On the other hand, the heavenly demon hall. At this moment, ancient god's scarlet firmament coldly laughed. At the same time, countless overlapping shadows appeared in the entire world. Let's go! All the members of the space-time sacred land answered in unison. Many of the space-time sacred land members were stunned by this sight. This youth was so young and didn't have the eye of space-time, but his space-time intent was so powerful. At the same time, all the members of the space-time sacred land kneeled and cried out in unison, "Lord God." The heart of the gray-scaled old man trembled violently, and cold sweat broke out on his forehead. Zhao Feng was extremely shocked. "Lord Sovereign? No, how is this possible? You're spouting nonsense." God Lord Heavenly Solitude naturally understood what ancient God Scarlet Firmament was referring to. Just like that, everyone from the space-time sacred land, leave this place. Thump. This. The gray-scaled old man blurted out in shock, his face contorted in shock. After kneeling, their expressions and movements became extremely stiff and slow, as if they were moving in slow motion. It seemed like he had underestimated the power of a god. In this battle, the heavenly demon hall had suffered grievous losses, and the space-time sacred land had even offered to compensate the members of the space-time sacred land who had died. He had seen everything just now, but he didn't know exactly what had happened. Stop. At this moment, not even ancient god Netherspring had any idea how the situation would develop. The black destruction serpent dragon, Zhao Wang, and the little thieving cat had long ago been put away in Zhao Feng's interspatial dimension. Members of the space-time sacred land, leave the heavenly demon hall. There's still one more person? Although the world of darkness had vanished, the area around them was now covered in a layer of silver. At this moment, a bright beam of light descended from the sky. Zhao Feng stared at the silver eyes in the sky. No one could be sure that if the heavenly demon hall did not do as they were told, the space-time god's power would descend once more. Ancient god Scarlet Firmament straightforwardly said, "This." But quite a few space-time god-eye descendants seemed to have guessed at something when they saw that pair of silver eyes. Reverence and worship appeared in their eyes. Ancient god Scarlet Firmament saw that ancient god Luo Ling was fine and that she had even broken through, so he immediately called out in delight. Two silhouettes flew out from the dark light ball. And at this moment he was willing to compensate the members of the space-time sacred land who had died. Ancient god Scarlet Firmament got down on one knee and respectfully said. At this moment, the voice of the soul resounded through the sky once more. What's going on? He had no idea what was going on outside, but now that he had left the heavenly demon hall, he realized that Zhao Feng and the members of the space-time sacred land had all disappeared. God Lord Heavenly Solitude immediately said. The experts skilled in space-time intent suddenly felt that the world's space-time had become extremely foreign, and they were unable to use their space-time energy. Swish. God Lord Heavenly Solitude was stunned. Ancient god Luo Ling bluntly asked. How could this be? The space-time god actually paid attention to this place? He even wondered if the space-time god had been paying attention this entire time, waiting for him to strike. Once he killed an ancient god of the space-time sacred land, the space-time god killing him would be understandable. BZZ. God Lord Heavenly Solitude's expression darkened, and then he spoke in a cold and sinister voice. The Heaven's Legacy Cat is not in the heavenly demon hall? They were the publicly acknowledged gods of the ancient desolate realm of gods, omnipotent. What's going on? Zhao Feng stared at ancient god Luo Ling and asked. Ancient god Netherspring was stunned, and then he angrily bellowed. He had not expected for the space-time god to interfere. The members of the heavenly demon hall around God Lord Heavenly Solitude were powerless to resist and instantly kneeled on the ground. I'll go with you. This voice. At this point, Zhao Feng's heart surged with passion and pride. Lord God. A cold and sinister voice echoed through every corner of the heavenly demon hall. The power of a God-I deity has descended. If the space-time's sacred land continued to pursue this matter, it would lose its reputation as a sacred land. Ancient god Luo Ling blurted out in shock, and then a look of joy appeared on her face. The compensation for the deaths of these 3 people was nothing to a god lord. God Lord Heavenly Solitude's body erupted with powerful energy to resist the space-time pressure. Ancient god Scarlet Firmament looked at Zhao Feng in confusion. He remembered that he had only sent ancient god Luo Ling to infiltrate the Heavenly Demon Hall. After all, the space-time's sacred lands people were already attacking. As soon as he finished speaking, the silver eyes in the sky disappeared. Just a moment ago, that oppressive death energy had vanished. Ancient god Scarlet Firmament wanted to say something, but he didn't know what to say. Gone. When they were in danger, the space-time god used his supreme divine ability to use his space transference eye to descend. Otherwise, God Lord Heavenly Solitude would have killed yet another ancient god of the space-time's sacred land. Silver light crisscrossed in the sky, creating an extremely complex picture. Although the space-time god had left, that invisible pressure still shrouded their bodies. Although they had been noticed by the god this time, nothing major had happened. He had belittled himself and raised up the space-time god, then said that the space-time god was bullying the weak. In a flash, God Lord Heavenly Solitude's face turned ghastly pale, and a trickle of black blood seeped out of the corner of his lips. His left eye twitched slightly, and he felt an unprecedented sense of excitement. His legs trembled as if he was about to fall to his knees. God Lord Heavenly Solitude called out. This was the space-time god's second sentence. Thump thump, thump thump. If the god spiritual I really was the 9th god I, there would come a day when he also had a chance to reach that level and become a god of the ancient desolate realm of gods, a god who would rule the world for all eternity. 8 great god eyes, space-time god I. God Lord Heavenly Solitude's expression darkened. Zhao Feng exuded space-time intent and used space-time blink to appear in the space-time sacred land group. This is compensation. The other members of the space-time sacred lands stared in shock at Zhao Feng. They didn't recognize this person. The messenger was naturally ancient god Nether Spring. What? The heavens' legacy cat was taken away? Lord God, my actions just now were completely because your disciple led a group of people to attack the Heavenly Demon Hall and caused enormous losses and casualties. Although the Antian zone bordered the Yangling zone, the space-time sacred land was extremely far from the Arctic abyss. An ordinary rank 3 or rank 4 true god would need nearly 10 years of uninterrupted flight to get there. Those massive silver eyes seemed to become the heavens, obscuring all. In a flash, a pair of massive silver eyes appeared in the sky. These eyes seemed to contain their own world, their own universe, and countless stars and motes of light could be seen within them. Anyone who looked into them would feel like they had fallen into an unknown spacetime. God Lord Heavenly Solitude had casually tossed out an interspatial dimension. The value of this interspatial dimension was more than enough to pay for 3 lives. Moreover, the strength and talent that Zhao Feng had displayed were not bad. It would be even better if he joined the space-time sacred land. That's enough. An ancient and ethereal voice that seemed to come from a distant space-time resounded through the world of darkness. Within the Heavenly Demon Hall, other than the person that God Lord Heavenly Solitude had just killed, the only other people who had died in the space-time sacred land were the 2 core disciples of the space-time sacred land that the Heavenly Demon Hall had captured at the very beginning. However, Zhao Feng speculated that the people of the space-time sacred land would definitely be able to leave safely, but he himself might not be able to. To his surprise, when God Lord Heavenly Solitude was about to kill the second person, the space-time god suddenly intervened. Of course, the silver eye in the sky was not the space-time god's true body, but his ability to transcend space. Suddenly. Chapter 1351. Zhao Feng flew with the space-time sacred lands group for a very long time. Ancient god Luo Ling, who is this person? Someone in the group finally asked. Zhao Feng was young, but he already had the cultivation of a rank 8 ancient god. Even rarer was that he didn't have the eye of spacetime, but his spacetime intent was so profound. Even the spacetime sacred land would find it difficult to find a disciple more outstanding than Zhao Feng. I got to know him when I infiltrated the Heavenly Demon Hall, so he's also an infiltrator. The two of us worked together to survive until now. Ancient God Luo Ling glanced at Zhao Feng and then said, in the Heavenly Demon Hall, she had never seen Zhao Feng's true appearance. She could only judge from his voice that Zhao Feng wasn't very old. When she saw Zhao Feng's true appearance, even Ancient God Luo Ling was taken aback. Zhao Feng had a handsome appearance and an excellent demeanor. When paired with his deep left eye and dreamy silver hair, he seemed even more mysterious and bewitching. Infiltrator. The members of the Space-Time Sacred Land were all taken aback. They had never imagined that Zhao Feng would have such an identity. Ancient God Luo Ling's suggestion of helping each other attracted the attention of everyone present. Now that Ancient God Luo Ling had become a rank 9 Ancient God, anyone that could help her could not be simple. Good sir, may I ask which faction you belong to? Ancient God Scarlet Firmament straightforwardly asked. With Zhao Feng's talent, he was probably a member of a major faction, perhaps even a God Realm Sacred Land. But if Zhao Feng was a member of a major faction, why would he infiltrate the Heavenly Demon Hall alone? In addition, he was also very interested in Zhao Feng's goal in infiltrating the Heavenly Demon Hall. What sort of goal was worth him entering a danger zone alone? Spiritual race, Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng bluntly said. Now that he knew his appearance, it would be extremely easy for the other party to investigate his identity, so there was no need to hide anything. Spiritual race. The members of the Space-Time Sacred Land became pensive. This Xiao will take his leave. If there is a chance in the future, I will definitely pay a visit to thank all of you. Zhao Feng immediately offered his resignation. He was only borrowing the Space-Time Sacred Land's hand to escape the Heavenly Demon Hall. He had no plans of going with them to the Space-Time Sacred Land. Then I'll take my leave. Ancient God Scarlet Firmament did not urge him to stay. Farewell. Zhao Feng said to Ancient God Luo Ling before leaving. After traveling a short distance, Zhao Feng suddenly stopped. Let's try teleportation. Space shift required one to have 6 levels of space profound. Zhao Feng had been studying it for a long time, and now he understood 70 to 80% of it. In order to increase the chances of success, Zhao Feng put on the space-time robe. Swoosh! Layers of space rippled, with Zhao Feng at the center. Gradually, the spatial vortex became smaller and smaller, but the spatial fluctuations became more intense. In the next moment, Zhao Feng's figure was directly sucked into the space vortex. Over 10 million miles away. A spatial vortex suddenly appeared, and Zhao Feng's figure slowly emerged from the void. A single teleportation can cover more than 10 million miles. Zhao Feng was stunned. This distance was several dozen times that of instant movement. Of course, this was Zhao Feng's first time using space shift, so there was still room for improvement. In addition, although space shift allowed one to travel an extremely long distance, the secret art took a long time to prepare and could easily be interrupted. Ancient God Luo Ling, how did you get to know Zhao Feng? What's his goal in infiltrating the Heavenly Demon Hall? Quite a few members of the team immediately asked. I ran into him on the way into the secret hall. His goal is to rescue his pet. Ancient God Luo Ling straightforwardly replied. Rescue his pet? Ancient God Luo Ling, you haven't been tricked by that brat, have you? An elderly rank 8 ancient god with blue hair faintly smiled. In his view, although Ancient God Luo Ling was talented and powerful, she was still too young and inexperienced. Ancient God Luo Ling coldly glanced at this person and said nothing. Right, Ancient God Luo Ling, with your strength, even if you run into danger, that Zhao Feng shouldn't be able to help you, right? Ancient God Scarlet Firmament suddenly asked. Earlier, with Zhao Feng present, he was too embarrassed to directly speak. I broke into rank 9 entirely because of him. Ancient God Luo Ling did not explain in too much detail. What? Many of the Space-Time Sacred Land members present were stunned. The one who had helped Ancient God Luo Ling break into rank 9 was Zhao Feng. Several of the people present were rank 8 ancient gods, and they were even more anxious to know how Zhao Feng had helped ancient god Luo Ling break into rank 9. However, right at this moment, an oppressive aura of death suddenly descended, causing the heavens and the earth to darken. All the members of the space-time sacred land, including ancient god Scarlet Firmament, had grave expressions. They were all extremely familiar with this energy. It belonged to God Lord Heavenly Solitude. Swish! Suddenly, a black figure appeared in front of them. God Lord Heavenly Solitude's sinister and terrifying eyes scanned the area, and then his expression darkened. "Where's Zhao Feng?" God Lord Heavenly Solitude straightforwardly asked. Once Zhao Feng's appearance was exposed, the Heavenly Demon Hall immediately investigated his identity. "Gone," ancient god Scarlet Firmament bluntly said. "Gone? Ha, your space-time sacred land is far too untrustworthy. You actually took an outsider away." God Lord Heavenly Solitude coldly snorted, and an invisible pressure began to weigh down on all the members of the space-time sacred land. All of them had gloomy expressions, and even breathing became somewhat difficult. Quite a few of them shot dissatisfied glances at ancient god Luo Ling. "It doesn't seem like we took Zhao Feng away, but Zhao Feng left with us. And we never said that he was a member of the space-time sacred land." Ancient god Scarlet Firmament fearlessly said. He was confident that God Lord Heavenly Solitude would not do anything to them. After all, they had done nothing wrong, and the space-time god was still intimidating them. Good. God Lord Heavenly Solitude's eyes bulged as he stared at the people in front of him. A suffocating death energy began to spread. And this was only because God Lord Heavenly Solitude was doing his best to suppress it. Otherwise, an ordinary rank 8 ancient god would have died on the spot. From this, one could see just how angry God Lord Heavenly Solitude was. But this was completely understandable. His primary goal in coming to the Heavenly Demon Hall was to take away the Heaven's legacy cat. The research results of the Heavenly Demon Hall were secondary. And not only had he run into the space-time god on this trip, he had lost a great deal of face. Most importantly, he had lost the Heaven's legacy cat. "I trust that the members of the space-time sacred land are not intentionally deceiving me." God Lord Heavenly Solitude gradually calmed down. This person plundered many precious resources in the Heavenly Demon Hall and killed several ancient god experts. Which direction did he take just now? God Lord Heavenly Solitude straightforwardly asked. There was no need to target the space-time sacred land at this moment. Zhao Feng had probably left not too long ago, so it was still possible to catch up. The members of the space-time sacred land couldn't help but sigh. Just what was so special about this Zhao Feng that God Lord Heavenly Solitude would personally come to capture him? "Over there." Ancient god Luo Ling pointed. Ancient god Scarlet Firmament grimaced, but he said nothing. Ancient god Luo Ling was naturally pointing in the wrong direction. It was the exact opposite of the direction Zhao Feng had taken. God Lord Heavenly Solitude was stunned, but he also said nothing. When he investigated Zhao Feng, he naturally knew that Zhao Feng was from the spiritual race, and ancient god Luo Ling was pointing in the opposite direction. However, Zhao Feng had probably predicted that the Heavenly Demon Hall would pursue him, so it was perfectly normal for him to do the opposite. Swish! A moment later, God Lord Heavenly Solitude vanished. Light returned to the world, and everyone felt relieved. Ancient god Luo Ling, how could you do this? You've offended a god lord. The blue-haired elder immediately questioned. Everyone felt nothing but yearning, respect, and fear toward a god lord. He helped me break into rank 9, so I helped him once. Ancient god Luo Ling softly said, her expression unchanged. In truth, Zhao Feng helping her break into rank 9 was a transaction, and the transaction was concluded long ago. Hurry and go. Ancient god Scarlet Firmament barked. Although ancient god Luo Ling had deceived God Lord Heavenly Solitude, even if God Lord Heavenly Solitude failed to capture her, there was no direct evidence that the space-time sacred land had deceived him. However, if he came looking for her, there would inevitably be some trouble. Swoosh! The members of the space-time sacred land hurriedly left. Meanwhile, Zhao Feng, who was in the middle of studying space-time shift, had no idea that he had just brushed shoulders with death. BZZ. A silver-robed man emerged from a spatial whirlpool. Although it's rather taxing, it's completely worth it given the distance. Zhao Feng was extremely satisfied with space-time shift. The ancient desolate realm of gods was incredibly vast, and each journey was rather long and dull. This was also why almost all true gods and ancient gods would try to comprehend space intent. Using space-time shift, he would stop from time to time. Less than 10 days later, he arrived outside the Black Devil Peak faction. I wonder what's going on with Ancient God Floating Spirits group. Zhao Feng pondered. After entering the Heavenly Demon Hall, communication methods were cut off from the outside world, so Elder Floating Spirit and the others were unable to contact Zhao Feng. The spiritual race's trade mission had ended long ago, so the spiritual race team had probably already returned. BZZ. Zhao Feng slightly activated his left eye and peered into Black Devil Peak. After the god's spiritual eye evolved, its vision had become even broader, and coupled with its ability to see through things, it was like a fish in water. Moreover, if he used his eyes to observe, he wouldn't be noticed. If he used his divine sense, an expert of the same level would immediately notice him. They probably left. Zhao Feng observed many places, but there was no sign of any spiritual race experts remaining here. I wonder if Kuan Yun? Zhao Feng suddenly thought of something and muttered to himself. Back then, he had planned to have the spiritual race elders take Kuan Yun away before parting with the spiritual race. But midway, Zhao Hui had been robbed, so he hadn't been notified. However, as long as Kuan Yun explained everything to the spiritual race elders, Ancient God Floating Spirit would definitely lend a helping hand. But when Zhao Feng's gaze swept over Kuan Yun's residence, his expression darkened. On the outer peak, a certain room was surrounded by outer peak disciples. Kuan Yun, hurry and come out. Let's spar again. A tall, skeleton-like youth loudly laughed. As long as you defeat me, you can take back that average-quality divine artifact you lost to me and become the #1 disciple of the outer peak. The day you enter the inner peak is just around the corner. The skeleton-like youth coldly laughed as he continued to shout. Hurry and come out, Kuan Yun, you cowardly turtle. Several dozen outer peak disciples around him began to shout. Kuan Yun, I've asked you many times for guidance, but you've never given me any face. Since that's the case, I can only break down the door and enter. The skeleton-like youth gave a savage smile as he flew toward the door. But suddenly, a terrifying energy that suppressed the entire crowd descended. Boom! Bang! The skeletal youth spurted out a mouthful of blood and was sent flying backward. Chapter 1352. When Kuan Yun heard that the skeletal man was about to break in, his heart trembled. As an outer sect disciple, the skeletal man would be punished for breaking into another disciple's room. However, all of the skeletal man's actions were directed by True God Cloudbreaker, and True God Cloudbreaker was now a core disciple with a lofty status. The steward managing the outer sect disciples didn't want to offend True God Cloudbreaker, so he turned a blind eye. Knowing that he couldn't dodge, Kuan Yun pushed open the door. But suddenly, a figure appeared in front of him. At the same time, an imposing aura that shook the entire place suddenly spread out. The charging skeletal man was sent flying and crashed to the ground, unable to get up for a long time. Everyone else felt a mountainous pressure and found it extremely difficult to even stand. I wonder, senior brother? The skeletal man fearfully stared at Zhao Feng. This youth was far more powerful than he had imagined. Such terrifying strength meant that he was definitely a core disciple, but the skeletal man didn't remember such a person from Black Devil Peak. Thump. The other outer sect disciples all kneeled. Kuan Yun, why are you still here? Zhao Feng whispered as he suddenly turned around. Kuan Yun stared in shock at this expert. He wanted to know just which senior brother or senior had helped him this time. When he saw Zhao Feng's face, his face froze, and then it turned into shock. Zhao Feng? Kuan Yun called out in alarm. Although his eyes and hair had changed color, his face hadn't changed much. Moreover, Kuan Yun knew that Zhao Feng's left eye was constantly transforming. When Kuan Yun called out Zhao Feng's name, 1 or 2 Black Devil Peak disciples paled, including the skeletal man. The spiritual race's Zhao Feng. The skeletal man immediately got up, his expression no longer respectful. He had originally believed that this was a senior brother or elder of Black Devil Peak, not that it was Zhao Feng. As a member of the spirit race, it was wrong for Zhao Feng to attack a disciple of Black Devil Peak. Moreover, he hadn't done anything to Zhao Feng. It was Zhao Feng who had attacked first. Moreover, True God Cloudbreaker, who stood behind the skeletal man, was also a core disciple, on the same level as the spiritual race's Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng, you trespassed on Black Devil Peak and attacked a disciple of Black Devil Peak. Just wait for your punishment. The skeletal man said coldly. Zhao Feng was not afraid at all. He did not even look at the skeletal man. It's like this, Kuan Yun was already extremely depressed, so he directly spat out the whole story. It turned out that Black Devil Peak had sent out a large number of people to search for Zhao Hui after his disappearance, but to no avail. Thus, Kuan Yun could only take the initiative to inform the spirit race elder of everything, hoping to escape this place. Alas, True God Cloudbreaker had secretly sent people to imprison Kuan Yun in his residence, causing him to miss the opportunity. Afterward, Kuan Yun was targeted by True God Cloudbreaker, whose current goal was to extract the treasures and divine artifacts on him. Not too long ago, Kuan Yun had been forced to fight. At the time, he believed that with his 3 average-quality divine artifacts, he should be able to defeat the skeletal man. But to his surprise, the skeletal man also had an average-quality divine artifact from True God Cloudbreaker. Coupled with the fact that the skeletal man was extremely strong, Kuan Yun was defeated and lost an average-quality divine artifact. I'll take you away, Zhao Feng straightforwardly said. Only now did he turn around and coldly stare at the skeletal man. In a flash, the skeletal man felt like the sky was collapsing, making it impossible for him to move. Die! Zhao Feng muttered. In a flash, the skeletal man's soul was crushed by an invisible force and pulverized. Thump! The skeletal man's body toppled to the ground. An interspatial dimension flew out of his body and over to Kuan Yun's side. Kuan Yun was extremely excited when he saw the interspatial dimension. This was strength. Killing a true god as easily as killing an ant. At this moment, boom! Boom! 2 evil and fiendish auras erupted from the outer peak of Black Devil Peak. Who dares to intrude upon Black Devil Peak? 2 evil path ancient gods charged toward Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng had pierced through Black Devil Peak's sensory domain. Even if he didn't intentionally release his cultivation, Black Devil Peak would still know. Swoosh, swoosh. 2 silhouettes instantly arrived nearby. When their gazes swept over the skeletal man at the side, their faces instantly darkened. Elder! The Black Devil Peak disciples respectfully bowed. Zhao Feng, you recklessly intruded upon Black Devil Peak and killed the disciples of Black Devil Peak. Don't you have no respect for Black Devil Peak? One of them coldly questioned. I'm helping you clean up your sect. Zhao Feng's expression darkened as he scanned the 2 ancient gods and unleashed an invisible energy. These 2 ancient god elders were only rank 7 ancient gods guarding the outer peak. Zhao Feng could instantly kill them with a glance. Rank 8. The expressions of the 2 elders immediately relaxed a little. The death of an outer peak disciple was nothing. They just felt that a junior dared to act so arrogantly and wanted to teach him a lesson. They hadn't expected for Zhao Feng to be a rank 8 ancient god. Based on what they knew, Zhao Feng had just broken into rank 7 not too long ago. How could he have reached rank 8 so quickly? Zhao Feng, you killed a disciple of Black Devil Peak. You can't just leave like this. You have to give an explanation to the higher-ups. The 2 elders relaxed their words and decided to leave this matter to the higher-ups. Okay. Zhao Feng nodded. Killing an outer peak disciple wasn't much, but Zhao Feng wanted to take away an outer peak disciple. If these 2 actions were added together, it truly would seem like Zhao Feng was being too unbridled and had no respect for Black Devil Peak. In the conference hall, you are Zhao Feng? Elder Tao carefully examined Zhao Feng and gave a slight nod. He truly lived up to his reputation as the most dazzling genius of the spiritual race. He had directly broken through to rank 6, reached rank 7 not too long ago, and now was rank 8. Not even the spiritual race with extremely thick bloodlines could compare to this level of talent. The demon-faced elder was also rather surprised. Black Devil Peak was divided into 2 factions. Elder Tao's faction had a good relationship with the spiritual race, while the demon-faced elder's faction was trying to worsen the relationship between the spiritual race and the other faction. Zhao Feng, for you to casually kill a disciple of my Black Devil Peak is far too impudent. The demon-faced elder suddenly asked, exuding an indistinct and powerful energy. Previously, when the spiritual race first arrived, he proposed a competition in an attempt to worsen the relationship between the spiritual race and Elder Tao's faction. In the end, Zhao Hui had appeared out of nowhere and disrupted his plans. If he could use this chance to heavily punish Zhao Feng, the spiritual race would definitely be fiercely displeased and he would once more be able to achieve his goal. Elder, let me speak of another matter first. Zhao Hui and I are very good brothers, and I just so happened to be traveling around the Andean zone. When I heard that he had gone missing, I began to investigate on my own. Zhao Feng suddenly changed the topic. Zhao Hui. The demon-faced elder was taken aback for a moment before he said regretfully, although he did not go missing in Black Devil Peak, we are still very sorry. Have you found out anything? As soon as he finished speaking, Zhao Feng waved his hand, and Zhao Hui appeared. This scene gave the demon-faced elder quite a fright. How could someone who had been sent to the Heavenly Demon Hall still be alive? I was captured by a disciple of Black Devil Peak. Zhao Hui said directly. Such a thing actually happened? Elder Tao's expression changed. He had not expected Black Devil Peak to be responsible for Zhao Hui's disappearance. He had to investigate this thoroughly. In the next moment, Zhao Hui released a memory projection and displayed the scene of him being captured. Don't worry, Black Devil Peak will personally deal with these two and give the spiritual race an explanation. The demon-faced elder said righteously. They were just 2 ordinary inner peak disciples. He had sent someone to deal with them, and there would be no more trouble. Also, I wonder if the elders know of the Heavenly Demon Hall. Zhao Feng suddenly said with a smile. The Heavenly Demon Hall. The 2 elders said at the same time. He naturally knew that the Heavenly Demon Hall had secret dealings with the demon-faced elder's faction, but he had not expected for Zhao Feng to even know about the Heavenly Demon Hall. Elder Tao was surprised because he had just found out that the demon-faced elder's faction had dealings with a mysterious faction called the Heavenly Demon Hall. The demon-faced elder's faction had been rapidly growing stronger recently because of the Heavenly Demon Hall's secret support, but he had yet to find out the specifics of the Heavenly Demon Hall. A few days ago, when I was searching for Zhao Hui, I accidentally discovered a battlefield between the Heavenly Demon Hall and the space-time sacred land. Zhao Feng looked at the demon-faced elder and slowly said. The demon-faced elder had an extremely gloomy expression. He had been in contact with the Heavenly Demon Hall for quite some time now, so he naturally knew a little about the Heavenly Demon Hall's actions. These scoundrels actually dared to capture a god-eye descendant of the space-time sacred land. The demon-faced elder inwardly cursed. They had dealings with the Heavenly Demon Hall, and in a few months, the Heavenly Demon Hall would be giving them resources, but now the Heavenly Demon Hall was in trouble. Elder, you seem to be very concerned about this faction? Zhao Feng faintly smiled at the demon-faced elder. Before the demon-faced elder could explain, Zhao Feng said, the Heavenly Demon Hall was extremely extraordinary, with as many experts as the clouds in the sky. But in the end, the space-time god descended through space and everything came to an end. Now, the Heavenly Demon Hall is nowhere to be seen. The moment he said this, the 2 elders' hearts trembled and their expressions changed dramatically. I didn't think that the Heavenly Demon Hall would offend the space-time sacred land, even provoking the space-time god to take action. Elder Tao found this extremely inconceivable, but he was inwardly delighted. For the Heavenly Demon Hall to vanish was the best result for him. The demon-faced elder's face was as gloomy as still water, and he said nothing. With the space-time god taking action, The heavenly demon hall had vanished without a trace. In his view, the heavenly demon hall had definitely been destroyed until only dregs remained. "Everyone, I still have matters to attend to, so I will take my leave." Zhao Feng saw the demon-faced elder's expression, coldly smiled, and took his leave. The demon-faced elder had been dealt a heavy blow, and he was in no mood to argue about Zhao Feng's actions on Black Devil Peak. "Zhao Feng, if you have the chance to come again, Black Devil Peak will definitely entertain you," Elder Tao cheerfully said. Zhao Feng's appearance had brought him the best news of all. "Kuan Yun, let's go." After leaving the hall, Zhao Feng said to the worried Kuan Yun, "We can go." Kuan Yun found it somewhat hard to believe that he could finally leave Black Devil Peak. But Kuan Yun's cultivation was too low, so for the sake of convenience, Zhao Feng had placed him in the space-time robe dimension. Kuan Yun's cultivation was too low, so even if he had any designs on the space-time robe, it would be useless, so Zhao Feng was completely at ease. After leaving Black Devil Peak, Zhao Feng turned around. "I can't let the two of you go either." Zhao Feng activated his left eye and began to search Black Devil Peak. True God Cloudbreaker and Young Master Hai were quickly discovered by Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng activated his left eye and very inconspicuously left behind a mark on their bodies. One had to realize that Zhao Feng's soul intent had reached the peak of rank 8, so the two of them couldn't possibly sense anything strange. After doing all this, Zhao Feng prepared to leave. But his god spiritual eye suddenly noticed that two ancient gods were approaching Black Devil Peak, and their targets seemed to be him. "It's him?" One of them was a muscular middle-aged man with a rather pale complexion, and he looked at the nearby Zhao Feng. "He's Zhao Feng, the person Lady Wu Heng is looking for?" A buxom woman dressed in light blue also carefully examined Zhao Feng. Chapter 1353. As expected, Zhao Feng stood where he was while the two ancient gods approached. As the two sides stared at each other, the muscular man and buxom woman began to carefully examine Zhao Feng. "What business do the two of you have?" Zhao Feng went straight to the point. These two didn't seem to be very familiar with him, but their target was him. This left Zhao Feng extremely confused. "Is Sir Zhao Feng?" the muscular man asked. "I am," Zhao Feng confidently replied. These two knew his name but didn't recognize Zhao Feng, so they probably weren't from the Xiling Zone or Antian Zone. "The ancient god seal is in your hands. Please return it to us," the muscular man straightforwardly said. At the same time, a heaven-shaking bloodline pressure began to spread out. Even Zhao Feng's body trembled in surprise. What a powerful primordial bloodline! Zhao Feng was startled. The muscular man's ancient bloodline was definitely not ordinary and was definitely ranked near the top. But based on the characteristics of his body, Zhao Feng couldn't guess what bloodline it was. But for some reason, Zhao Feng felt a sense of familiarity with this bloodline, as if he had seen it before. "That's mine." Zhao Feng's face chilled as he began to exude a heavy and steady aura. At present, only Ancient God Black Heaven knew the name of the Ancient God Seal and was desperately trying to steal it. The two people who had come here today were also after the Ancient God Seal. This made Zhao Feng speculate that they were members of Ancient God Black Heaven's faction. Moreover, both of them were rank 8 ancient gods, and with their powerful bloodlines, they possessed extraordinary strength. But Zhao Feng had also undergone a heaven-shaking transformation. Even if these two worked together, he wouldn't fear them in the slightest. In addition, these two were not like Ancient God Black Heaven, who immediately attacked, so Zhao Feng didn't attack. If they directly attacked, he wouldn't be polite. Boom. The aura that Zhao Feng exuded was not any weaker than the robust man. This was because Zhao Feng cultivated the Chaos Heaven Void origin technique and had comprehended many intents. There was also the fact that Zhao Feng had witnessed the divine might of half-step god lords, and even gods. To a certain extent, Zhao Feng's state of mind was tempered, his horizons were broadened, and he became fearless and courageous. Zhao Feng's aura and attitude caused the two people on the other side to be slightly shocked. "This person is not simple," the muscular man thought to himself. Now that he was injured, he might not be a match for the other party in a one-on-one fight. I advise you to return it to us. This divine artifact is of no use to you. Instead, it will bring you trouble. Moreover, if you have any requests, you can also state them. The robust man's attitude softened a little, and he also restrained his aura. Why do you want the ancient god seal? Zhao Feng asked the question in his heart. At present, the ancient god seal truly wasn't very useful to Zhao Feng. Moreover, the ancient god seal was coveted by the faction that ancient god Black Heaven belonged to. In the past, Zhao Feng might have handed it over in exchange for other benefits. But now that Zhao Feng had joined the spiritual race and was a rank 8 ancient god, there was not much that he feared. Thus, Zhao Feng was even more interested in the secrets of the ancient god seal. The muscular man immediately hesitated. He knew a little about the ancient god seal, but he could not tell an outsider. Okay, Zhao Feng, come with us to Giant God Hall. You can make your decision there. At this moment, the buxom woman who had been smiling at Zhao Feng this entire time finally spoke. If I go with you to Giant God Hall, won't I have to do everything you want? Zhao Feng sneered. He had never heard of Giant God Hall, but it was at least a peak 4-star organization. It was far too dangerous for Zhao Feng to venture alone. I am here on Lord Wuheng's orders to invite you. I can guarantee that your life will not be in danger if you go to Giant God Hall. The buxom woman's expression turned a little more solemn. Lord Wuheng? Zhao Feng's expression froze as he spoke. This name naturally made him think of Xen Wuheng. Moreover, Zhao Feng knew that the appearance of the god corpse in the continent zone had a lot to do with Xen Wuheng. To a certain degree, Zhao Feng had obtained the ancient god seal from Xen Wuheng. At this moment, the buxom woman took out a square jade talisman, which immediately began to glow with white light. The light formed a translucent screen that slowly condensed into a tall and imposing figure. Although his demeanor had changed, his appearance was extremely similar to the Xen Wuheng that Zhao Feng had once known. Zhao Feng, if you are willing, please come to Giant God Hall. Xen Wuheng only said this one sentence in the image, and then the light screen disappeared. Although it was just a simple sentence, Zhao Feng sensed that Xen Wuheng had something to say, but it was inconvenient. At this moment, Zhao Feng once more examined the two people in front of him. They were both members of Giant God Hall, but their attitudes toward Zhao Feng were somewhat different. The buxom woman was following Xen Wuheng's orders, but he did not know what the other person's situation was. Although these two have different attitudes, they are both here for the ancient god seal. If I don't go, they will continue to bother me. Moreover, they are also connected to Xen Wuheng. After some thought, Zhao Feng decided to go to Giant God Hall. After all, Xen Wuheng had given him extremely precious tribulation lightning god crystals before leaving the continent zone, and he had also given Zhao Feng clues to Lu Qinxin's whereabouts. In short, Xen Wuheng had shown kindness to Zhao Feng. Moreover, to be able to see familiar people from the continent zone in the ancient desolate realm of gods was something to be happy about. Okay, I'll go with you. Zhao Feng straightforwardly agreed. Then let's go. The buxom woman faintly smiled. Wait a moment. I still have other things to do. Zhao Feng looked at Black Devil Peak and said, What else do you want to do? We'll take you to Giant God Hall, but only you. We can't bring anyone else. The muscular man grimaced. He believed that Zhao Feng was a member of Black Devil Peak and was worried about his own safety, so he prepared to bring a few people with him. No, let me kill 2 people first. Zhao Feng's sudden smile made the pair shiver in fear. Bush. Zhao Feng and the pair left Black Devil Peak. Within Black Devil Peak, they left. Elder Tao softly muttered. 3 ancient gods gathering on the perimeter of Black Devil Peak naturally attracted their attention. Fortunately, these 3 ancient gods seemed to have other matters to attend to and only spoke a few words before leaving. The upper echelon members of Black Devil Peak were relieved. That ancient god just now exuded a bloodline energy that seems to belong to the giant god race. A white-haired old man said, Wasn't the giant god race already extinct? Elder Tao was alarmed. A race isn't so easily exterminated, and it was such a powerful race. After leaving Black Devil Peak for some distance, The trio concealed themselves in a gloomy valley. The people you want to kill should be the people of Black Devil Peak, but what are you doing hiding here? The muscular man straightforwardly asked. Zhao Feng did not reply, but his left eye suddenly unleashed a powerful ripple of soul energy. A moment later, through the mark on True God Cloudbreaker's body, he could vaguely sense what was going on nearby. What a powerful soul energy! The muscular man was taken aback. Zhao Feng's cultivation was clearly inferior to theirs, but his soul intent far surpassed theirs. Coupled with his somewhat mysterious eye bloodline, his fighting power was probably not low. Meow. At this moment, the little thieving cat jumped out of the interspatial dimension and onto Zhao Feng's shoulder. What a strange cat! The buxom woman immediately stared at the little thieving cat. The little thieving cat's current appearance was very different from that of an ordinary cat. Its body was robust and well-proportioned, giving off the impression of a perfect being. Its ears and tail were long and slender, giving it the appearance of a spirit. Most bizarre of all were the complex silver runes and diagrams on the little thieving cat's body. The little thieving cat warily stared at the two from Giant God Hall. A moment later, the soul energy in Zhao Feng's body dimmed and vanished as if he had died. Only the little thieving cat knew that Zhao Feng's gaze had already drifted to the distant horizon. In True God Cloudbreaker's residence, becoming a core disciple really is different. This 7 Revolutions Blood Essence pill can help me consolidate my cultivation and increase my vitality. True God Cloudbreaker took out a bright red pill and swallowed it. But at this moment, a dreamy silver eye the size of a fist appeared above his head and floated in the air. Suddenly, icy blue rays of light shot out of it. These blue rays of light seeped into True God Cloudbreaker's soul, instantly freezing his thoughts and causing his soul to perish. After doing all this, the dreamy silver eye vanished. The energy Zhao Feng had used to kill True God Cloudbreaker was so weak and obscure that it would not have been noticed. Killing True God Cloudbreaker is extremely simple, but young Master Hai might notice if he tried to kill him. But he's currently cultivating. In another room, young Master Hai was immersed in a profound stellar eye bloodline technique. His eyes were glimmering with faint light, clearly calculating an eye bloodline technique. However, his complexion was extremely unsightly, most likely because his cultivation of eye bloodline techniques was not going smoothly and he had encountered a problem. BZZ. A dreamy silver eye appeared behind him. Under normal circumstances, young Master Hai might have noticed it, but he was currently cultivating an eye bloodline technique, and his mind was extremely unsettled. Flame Soul Devil Eye. A searing illusion Tao energy engulfed him. Suddenly, Mr. C, who was in the middle of training, had a hideous look on his face. Traces of blood seeped out from his eyes. A moment later, the dreamy silver eye vanished. Within the cave, a dreamy silver luster appeared in Zhao Feng's gloomy eyes. What's going on? The muscular youth had been observing Zhao Feng this entire time, and he felt that something was extremely strange. He's skilled in the soul Tao. Just now, his soul left his body. The buxom woman's eyes flashed with a strange light. We can go, Zhao Feng said. Although he hadn't directly killed young Master Hai, Zhao Feng had used the most dangerous illusion eye bloodline technique on young Master Hai. The Flame Soul Devil Eye was an illusion technique that was both offensive and confusing. At the same time, Zhao Feng had fused in it the ability to attack the weak points in one's mind. If one was struck by Zhao Feng's eye bloodline technique while cultivating, if the situation was good, their cultivation would regress, and they would be stuck for the rest of their lives. If the situation was bad, their soul would be destroyed. The muscular man and buxom woman gave Zhao Feng meaningful glances, but they said nothing. Just now, Zhao Feng had said that he would leave after killing 2 people from Black Devil Peak. If he could leave now, didn't that mean that he had already killed them? Although they found it hard to believe, this matter made the 2 of them wary of Zhao Feng. Not long after the trio left, Black Devil Peak began to hear that young Master Hai had cultivated to the point where his soul had self-detonated. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.